Hello, and welcome in to another session of Disco Elysium. Admittedly, I was watching back my previous recording and I was a little bit low energy, probably because I had spent the previous, I guess about 4 hours in an MRI machine and being asked various questions. And so I probably ought to have canceled stream last week, but here we are. And I'm glad that you're able to join me today. We are going to continue on with Disco Elysium, and we hopefully we can give it the attention that it truly deserves. I watched a few more videos on just talking about the theories of this game, and it's very rich storytelling. Uh, yeah, let's continue on together. Although I do have to say that there is one section where the one particular child is says a lot of DMCA worthy things, so perhaps we will continue to skip those. We were in the middle of talking to this gentleman right here. There is a streamer mode, and I actually currently do have it. But it only replaces the copyrighted music. It doesn't replace the expletives and things like that. So it does make it safe for stream, quote unquote, but not in the way that you think that it does. Why, thank you. Let's talk about the hanging. That's correct. Oh, one moment. I did not have desktop audio on. We quit and, yes, let's load. There we are. Let us give this game the attention it deserves, while allowing us to listen to the audio here. I will turn it a little bit down. Hopefully it is to your liking.
Mr. Dubois, a pleasure as always. You don't have to sit down this time, since you've already sat on that chair.
I want to talk about the hanging.
Oh, of course. That's your main thing here. That's why you're in Martinez. I know everything that goes on around here, and I would love to help you, like I'm helping you with the body. I mean, it's no secret that the lynching is connected to the strike. So much to talk about. Honestly, it's been weighing on me so heavily. I understand you need to interview me.
Let's see here. We have a bit of leveling up we can do. I'm not entirely sure where you can see that you can level up. I think I have 2 skill points right now. There we go. 2 skill points. And, yes, journal. Find smokes and smoke them. We will not be doing that. I sense there's a but.
But there's a thing that's been keeping me up at night.
Mm-hmm.
I want to talk about the hanging. I mean, if we could just calmly talk, exchange information, we could blow this thing wide open.
Yes, that sounds good. Let's do that.
But I can't think straight with this thing weighing on me. You're police officers, aren't you? I have a crazy idea. You guys are basically door-opening machines. Incredibly talented at opening doors.
I've opened a few doors in my life.
And I'm sure you're going to open this one with flying colors, Harry. This really is very simple, and there's nothing shady about it.
That's very suspicious. The fact that you had to say that there's nothing shady about it indicates that there must be something shady about it, right?
Does this jiggling ooze think he's going to use you? He's got another thing coming. Play his game, son, with your eyes peeled.
Mm-hmm.
He's going to slip up, and when he does, you're going to come out on top.
Damn it, fine, I'll look into it. We need to talk about that murder.
Fantastic, my friend. Just let me know when it's done, and we can take our friendship to the next level.
That sounds suspicious. Incredibly suspicious.
You can get the key from Manana. He's down by the gates. Manana's like a free agent in the Union. Special operations. Hardened socialist. A real free thinker, too. He'll tell you precisely where the door is. One last thing, Harry.
He smiles, obviously satisfied with how well he planned it all out. The fool, we will be the ones playing him.
Just open the door. You don't need to go in or anything. I just want that weasel to come home and see the unlocked door.
Let's talk about my lost gun.
Yes, your lost gun. My best men are on it. They're turning every stone, searching every playground, asking kids, grandmas, everyone.
Oh?
Your gun will be found, Harry. Let me assure you of that. It's just a matter of time and effort.
The only way to find it seems to be working with him. He might even be holding your gun hostage.
Does this mean if I do things for you, I will get my gun back?
Damn it, Harry. That's exactly what it means. I'm only kidding, of course.
He is not.
He is not kidding.
Of course. I understand. We help you, you help us.
What's in the container outside of this office?
My dear Harry, there are literally millions of containers in this harbor. I couldn't possibly remember what's in all of them.
There's nothing special about it. It was attached to the Calvsland crane.
Harry, you smooth-talking son of a bitch. Time is a precious resource, and I
Oh,
don't
of
have
course.
enough of it to count containers with you.
Smooth talking. Maybe that's the way to go about opening the container. You should at least try convincing it.
I wanted to go over a couple of things about me.
Let's hear it, Harry.
He sinks deeper into the chair. What kind of cop do you say I am?
Well, Harry, if I were to sum you up in one word, it would be apologetic.
What? I'm not apologetic. I'm confident.
Well, you sure come off as very confident in all our interactions, Harry. You're a real man's man.
Let's talk of other matters for a
Of
moment.
course, Harry, of course. See you soon, Debardeur. Just kidding, but not...
Wouldn't Kim know what my name was? Open apartment door for Everett. Mignana, interesting. Alright. Let's depart this place at once. What does Kim think of this?
Yes?
Nothing quite interesting just yet. I am starting to form a bit of a picture of what Harry is like. We need to talk to this man again. I don't know who Everett is.
Oh, hey, mister. I knew you'd be back to talk with old Leo here. Yes, I did. Yes, I did. It's like Lady Larice said when she opened a bathhouse in the basement of my apartment building. They can only get so far before they're aching to get back. And lots of folk really did keep coming back.
I had some questions for you, if that's not too much trouble.
No trouble at all, mister. No trouble at all. It's like that old saying goes. wisdom withers if not shared. And old Leo is...
Nothing new.
The face of King Freecell smiles at you. For some reason, the smile now strikes you as more forced than it did before.
Let's see what they mean by local concerns.
Unsurprisingly, much of this section is taken up with articles declaring unqualified support for the dockworkers' strike.
I find that very questionable.
You skim the headlines. Paint the harbor red and white.
Mm-hmm.
Martinez tames the wild pines. A city in revolt. First we take Martinez, then we take La Delta. Finally, there's a brief article by the writer G. Martin accusing the owner of the Capeside apartments of illegally attempting to evict certain communist tenants simply for not having paid their rent.
Charging rent just to live somewhere there is pretty outrageous. Wouldn't it be better if if labor and capital could reach some reasonable accommodation? I mean, it is.
G. Martin remarks dryly that capitalists love wealth redistribution, so long as it's
that is true.
Redistributed upward. You flip back to the front of the magazine. The table of contents unfolds before
international
this
developments.
Includes a long, tedious critique of the latest round of free trade negotiations between the EPIS nations and the Free State of Semenine. You also skip over an article about heavy fuel oil smuggling along the Messina border, something about bear wrestling in Samara, book riots in Yugograd.
Well, it seems like other people are sure keeping busy.
Face it, you really aren't interested in foreign affairs. You're not even sure when you flip back to the front of the magazine. The table of contents. Comrade, as you know, this journal takes its name from Mazov's immortal expression, du cristal à la fumée. This was his way of describing the way the rigid, crystalline structures of capitalist ideology turn to smoke under communism. But, like the structures of capitalist ideology, we too are at risk of going à la fumée. Unlike many publications which are content to spoon-feed their readers reassuring drivel, La Fumée is committed to telling the radical truth, even when that truth may drive away potential subscribers.
Fascinating.
So please, if you value our radical Mazovian perspective on contemporary politics, culture, and international affairs, please consider subscribing today. Yours in struggle, the editors.
Kim, I think this is a communist magazine.
What do you expect? It was laying around the office of the Debarders Union. They're probably bankrolling the thing.
Ah.
You flip back to the front of the magazine.
With the magazine. Ring that bell. There's some sort of interact, I'm not sure.
An intricate web of blue lines. It almost looks like... It's just a racist mug. What's there to read here? Not much.
Handwritten note from the fridge.
The note is written with a blue...
We have postcards, clothes. We have much better clothes now. Interface. We have a mesh shirt that we've acquired somehow. Okay, now we need to get into an apartment. But the problem is that I'm awful at navigating. And I don't know where the apartment is, nor the person that I need to talk to get there about it.
You're back before the cargo container. Its draw has not lessened since
Rhetoric.
you were last here.
Can we increase our rhetoric? Art of persuasion. Unfortunate. I am incredibly fascinated by what's through that door. I'd like to go up on this rooftop. What is this? Hmm. Getting around by clicking is not the most efficient way to do this, but it is, unfortunately, the only way to really navigate this. I think we should be able to leave now.
The file cabinet stands steady as the drawer slides shut.
Alright. Yeah, we have the keycard to leave. I'm still not sure how to get to this place. Hmm.
So, how'd you like our harbor?
Labor
It's
Utopia.
but a rest area on the path leading across open plains.
He nods solemnly, then turns to you, a wide smile adorning his
Right.
face.
You talk to the boss, eye to eye, like men of the plain. If you have any more questions, I'm set to talk.
Everett said you had a key to a door? Ah! He's Minata.
A key, huh? What door is this key supposed to open?
He runs his finger through his mustache. I was hoping you could tell me.
Of course, I got you. You don't know anything.
He taps the side of his nose with a little wink. I truly don't. I have alcohol-induced amnesia.
I got that key right here. And let me tell you, it's mighty good of you to help us out during the strike. Working class solidarity, as they say.
I'm not really doing this for political reasons.
Oh, so the none of the above type, are you? I get it, I get it. I like to keep my distance too. But it doesn't matter. It's
Oh,
a
if you
good
have
thing
the
that
key, then why don't you open the
What
door?
you're looking for is a basement door behind the greenhouse.
Ah.
It's behind the whirling in rags. That's all I know. Our organization is what you call compartmentalized. Means we keep out of each other's business.
Hmm. Oh, right.
Okay, but where did you get the key from?
Yeah, good question, Kim.
The janitor gave it to me. Nice fella. We talked about life and things that really, truly matter.
His gaze wanders off into the distance.
None of this mess we're in. This jiving and juggling. What's it for? To feed our children, I guess.
He doesn't wait for your answer. Anything else I should know about this task, this weasel person, when he'll be home?
I'm more of a philosophical dock worker. I like to talk about the big picture stuff. Who I am, who you are, what we are fighting for.
The man takes a big sip from his flask.
Who he is and what they're fighting for. This is interesting.
It is interesting. Hey, you're the man in boots at the gates. Kuno said you know about the armor.
The little boy had the good on his promise.
His promise?
To get me into trouble. To sick the pigs on me. Pardon the choice of words. Not mine.
I see.
What happened?
I was asked to look into that armor situation. Official union probe, you know. Track it down, see who took it.
Did you?
Mm-hmm.
At first I thought, why not? Maybe the pieces can feed the strike. Buy us a few more days under the sun, you know?
Yes.
So I went to this boy. He said he'll make me his prison bitch. He's got eyes
Uh-oh.
everywhere. The cop's in his pocket and he's the king of Jamrock.
Ah, yes, the one that's set out, that's, got his heart into DMCAing me.
Serves me right for doing menial footwork. I dropped that probe right then and there, and it still got me into trouble. One bad move is all it takes.
So Kuno used this to what, scare you? The probe into the armor, what did you learn?
I learned that people don't want to talk to a drunk Union man about some armor.
Indeed.
What else?
Not much. Technical stuff mostly. That was the interesting part.
Hmm. And so Kuno used us to what, scare you?
It's a minor nuisance. It's all good.
Fascinating.
He thinks, not yet. Better to get this business out of the way. Sweeter then.
What sort of technical stuff?
I did some research into this armadura. Let's say I have friends at the library. I didn't get into the material science, just how it comes off.
How does it come off?
In parts. 4 in total. The helmet was the first to go. The kid says he tore it off and kicked it into the sea. I believe him. The boots were still on the guy last I saw. Too hard to remove.
Yeah, that's right.
So, as I count, there are 2 parts missing. The gauntlets and the cuirass. This is where I left off. Too much hassle. More like a job for some militia.
Hold up, 4 people's helmet, cuirass, gauntless boots. What about their leggings?
Oh, they're just gone. They don't exist anymore, if they ever did at all. Forget about them. I did.
I'm going to find one piece of it. One is enough.
Nice and balanced. Some junior officers can take care of the rest.
Indeed.
Smart choice. It's only that one spot you need armor too. The one the bullet hits.
Oh, the chest.
Good luck if you go for those boots though. You'd have an easier time wresting the spurs off a boyadero than getting them off him. No
Thank you for
problem.
your cooperation.
If you see that kid, thank him from Call Me Mañana. Thank him for showing me the way.
He is sincerely grateful he is not tracking down pieces of armor right now.
Any idea who killed the hanged man?
The mercenary, eh? Who could have killed him? That's indeed the question. Why even do such a thing?
The harbor's a prime area of suspicion, in your opinion. Who are dock workers involved in the
What
killing?
a thought. Why would noble workers resort to such a thing? Unless they were pushed, of course.
Pushed how?
Your dead guy was an enemy combatant.
Hold up, what do you mean?
He was an agent of the opposition, attempting to undermine our honorable efforts.
Did you kill him?
I ain't the murdering type, but that's just me. Large organizations like our union have all sorts of men, with all sorts of skills.
He means a more violent faction could easily take care of such a thing.
Interesting.
Understood. This has been of limited use. Still, thank you.
No problem. I wish the best to you in your search. Sure, I'm glad it's not my search.
Why are you striking?
We're negotiating our share. Aye.
So not wages or pensions,
The
or?
stuff. They already covered.
Shouldn't you be grateful then? At least you got benefits, however much you feed the wolf.
The wolf always wants more. I like wolves.
How large a share would you like?
All of it. However, right now we want all the harbor workers to be on the company's board, so they could take part in the decision-making process.
The bossman, Evero, what can you tell me about him?
I think it's best you make up your own mind now that you've met him. In my eyes, he is a capable organizer and a decent businessman.
What does bossing the union entail anyway?
I guess you kind of get to be the village chief. He oversees the harbor, makes deals with the owners.
He's basically the
other
mayor.
parties, watches out for his own.
By that, you mean corruption?
By heavens, why would he not be corrupt? We live in a harsh and disordered world, see? And in this world, The old man is corrupt for our benefit, and we know it. Appreciate it even. He is, personally, not too lavish.
The dash seemed lavish to me.
He is reasonably lavish, sure. That's his prerogative. It's not like you want a saintly demeanor on a corrupt motherfucker.
Oh, he
Be a
swore.
manipulative illusion. Besides, there are no non-corrupt systems in the world anyway, and moralism is the most corrupt of them all.
That's right.
Not you, you would like to say. But then there's that weasel door.
Are you a communist?
No, I don't think I'm a communist. Seeing something of value and saying I want it all to myself is a much older and simpler notion. No science to it at all.
Hmm.
Even a weak child can think it. The only things holding someone back are I can't and I shouldn't.
Right on.
Just the way the world works, Boyadero.
You seem to spend a lot of time thinking about the political situation.
Sure, I've had the necessary free time. Fortunately, there's always time.
Hmm.
The look in his brown eyes conjures up an understanding. For him, having command of his time is the most important thing.
I see.
The man sits on the railing, his hands reaching far and wide. Yet it feels as if he could, effortlessly, go even wider, if need be, an endless torrent of time.
Interesting. Okay, well, thankfully they told us how to get there. Oh, the money here.
Yes?
We go back into the whirling and rags. Let's do that. Still closed. What does he have to say?
Can I help you?
Hmm.
Another thing. Great. I love those. Yes?
Let's see if anyone else has something to say. That's Kit's room, I would imagine.
The window stands broken in its frame. You see some lights shimmering outside. but it's difficult to make out the outlines of the buildings. Kim also tries not to look at the pile of taped viscera on the carpet, or the weird suitcase on the hat rack, or the potted plant dying in the corner. But it's all just too morbid to ignore.
You're looking at the destruction.
He nods.
This is where the magic happens. Say nothing, nod stoically.
Takes a step toward the door, like he'd like to leave.
Okay, well, we certainly can, but not before I take a good look at myself.
A mirror hangs on the wall, covered in steam. You cannot see yourself, just the outlines of a man. You have no memory of the face that awaits you there, underneath the soft vapor. As you slowly reach your hand towards the surface of the mirror. Abort. You clearly have not thought this through. You won't like what you see there, and you will never unbecome it.
Maybe I should touch it first, make sure there's nothing wrong with my face.
Yeah, there is definitely something wrong with it.
What's wrong?
Where to even begin? There is the bloatedness, then the swollenness. It's like there's an upholstery of alcohol underneath your skin.
That would make sense.
Behold.
Ah. It's a man.
You have no idea who this thing is, do you?
It's the face of a late-stage alcoholic.
Too late. You clearly have rigor mortis on your face. Oh wait, is that an expression? Are you trying to make an expression with that face? Why?
I'm not making it, my face is making itself.
Please stop. It's horrible. You're scaring yourself.
Okay.
Oh my god. You can't stop. It's like it's not even voluntary anymore. You have worn that grin into your face and now it won't come off.
How interesting.
What does it even mean? What is the emotion you're trying to convey?
It's an expression of pain.
You are correct.
Thanks. It's all very low. Chain cutters. Put that.
A mirror hangs on the bathroom wall.
Try.
Yet, the chain cutters slip out of your hands as you attempt to twist the faucet into place.
Well, that's unfortunate. Kuno lied to me. Oh no, I have to go talk to Kuno. Okay, well. Don't mind me then. We'll have to go back to talk to Kuno. Potentially get DMCA'd. Oh? Nothing. The front page rings a bell strange. Front page of what? Alright, let us go talk to the child. And get prepared to skip a lot. Alright, child.
Fuck does Kuno care?
I talked to my nana about the armor.
So?
He raised his eyebrows, projecting aggressive indifference.
You should thank him.
Nothing, the tip really paid off. Good job, Kuno. He said the thank you, wasn't too keen on chasing down the armor anyway. Yeah, let's thank him.
Fuck, okay. Kuno's a giver like that, yes?
Kuno sent your fat ass running around like jello.
I mean,
Pig, Kuno sent you to rough some people up. Kuno played you. That happened. Now you and Kuno should move on.
Good idea.
Yes, let's move on.
Yeah, that's what Kuno said. Don't be saying what Kuno said back to Kuno. After this shit, you better have something.
Yeah, real interesting.
Kuno, let's talk about your shack
The
again.
fuck do you want with it? Good call, Pigmice. Yeah, the kingdom of Kuno.
What's in the greenhouse over there?
Dunno. Keep that gardener used to work there.
What do you mean, Kit?
Look it up in the library. Kuno's not a fucking dictionary. Fucking small brain. Kuno
Hold on, the gardener
gardener,
used to work
alright?
there?
Yeah, that's what Kuno said. She couldn't handle the heat, so she took off. Kuno can take it. Shit's nothing to Kuno.
I mean, the young woman by the whirling rags. I also hate Kuno. I don't think you're meant to like him, to be completely fair.
Look, Kuno doesn't explain shit. Kuno just says shit.
Welcome in, Konu. Who is not Kuno, and much better than Kuno, who is an annoying brat, and we hate him.
Yeah, her.
Yeah, whatever. Kuno.
Who is Kuno?
Kuno's Kuno.
Kuno.
Primal. Violent. We do not hate Konu, we hate Kuno. So you refer to yourself in third person.
The fuck are you calling a third person?
Kuno's the fucking
first
first person. That is an amazing comeback.
He looks slightly confused, but proud he came up with that retort. But right as he's getting distracted, you hear a malevolent hiss from behind the fence.
Watch out, Kuno, he's trying to fiddle you. He's gonna
No, he's not going
He's got
to.
the Kuno help.
I'm not doing anything.
Everybody,
escalate, Kuno.
pigs in here in Kuno. Somebody, please.
I could shut him down? Who put you up to this?
No one. Kuno's doing this because.
This is where Kuno establishes.
Help! The pig's
Hmm.
You
Someone put you up to
this
this.
yourself when you decide.
Listen to your friend.
Oh, they did bleep out some of it. Did Guard put you up to this?
Kuno owns the fat ass. Help! The
Are you high right now?
Rolling super hard.
Uh-huh.
He's having the time of his life.
He's flashing Kuno. He's showing his genitals. If you don't help Kuno now.
Can I
no
punch
one's
him? Can I just punch the child? Should I punch the child? What do you two think? We do hate Kuno. Yes. Punch him. All right, let's go. Oh my god. Oh. Oh, I did not expect myself to succeed.
The blow connects surprisingly well.
Well then.
Feels it.
I think we have a normal conversation now. Am I right, Kuno?
Officer, this is very far from normal police conduct. Get yourself together.
Give him the chair.
For heaven's sake, he This has gone too far. Don't make this any worse than it is. Just get back to questioning the kid.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, pig.
He's no longer wearing his demonic grin. Something happened. The punch made him calmer?
If this act was about him trying to establish dominance over you, it's safe to say things didn't go as he'd planned.
Indeed.
Kuno knows to respect that violent shit. You should see Kuno's dad. Kuno's dad doesn't give a shit about
Oh, so
anything.
he likes being punched. I see. Okay, well, you know, I'm not usually for violence against children, but I feel like Kuno's a special kind of
behind the fence
child.
has fallen ominously silent. Only her eyes are alive, jumping from actor to actor.
What? What in the masochism tango?
Okay, pig. Talk to Kuno. We're back in this shit. The fuck do you want?
Figure out what is going on with this kid. Oh, this is, yeah, it's a kid. Kuno is like 12.
It's not Kuno. It's Kuno S.
Interesting. How?
Kuno S is by far the worst of the two. Kuno has no problem being near you, but the other hides behind the fence, afraid for her life, like she's done something
Sorry.
very bad.
What?
She came up with that psychopathic scheme of screaming for help before. Kuno just wanted to talk to you about his name. Kuno S was the one who...
She's the messed up one.
All in all, Kuno respects madness. You cannot hope to outdo her on that front. You must win yourself a few...
Alright, let's separate them.
Fuck you whispering about?
He's whispering too. He's going with it. But watch what happens.
Fuck you whispering about.
Yep.
If Kuno wants to whisper, he's gonna fucking whisper, okay? Let's whisper, pig.
Let's whisper.
This is it. You've got him. But be careful. You can still fuck this up. Don't make Kuno look bad in this.
Phew, I'm glad she's out of her hair. She's fucked up.
She's not fucked up. Everyone's fucked up. Stop judging shit.
That's actually very good practice of empathy.
Wrong move. But he's whispering still. You haven't lost him. Just don't mess up again. Or you will. There are no guarantees here.
Should I say? Oh, I can't say.
It's okay. The pig's trying to pit us against each other.
Oh,
Idiot.
fuck.
You bungled. That's
I
it.
did.
You let him off the line. That was a bad, manipulative thing to say. You should understand. I got you this far.
What should I have said? I don't think there's any way.
Try to fuck my Kuno. Try to fuck my Kuno away. Me and Kuno are tight.
Chill comes over you, the wind from the boulevard south, lashing you for trying to separate them, for trying to take the street out of you. Were too pushy last time.
Okay.
Think this through. Try to really understand
The psychological bond that he has with this girl. What's the deal with Kuno S?
Look, while Kuno has no problem being near you, she always hides behind the fence. She came up with that psychopathic scheme.
Right.
All in all, Kuno respects madness. You cannot hope to outdo her on that.
Fuck you whispering about?
Oh, we get to retry this?
He's whispering too. He's going with it. But
Fuck you whispering about.
If Kuno wants to whisper, he's gonna fucking whisper, okay? Let's whisper, pig.
Okay,
This
let's
is
try
it.
this again. What's up with her?
Crazy. You don't know the half of it. She's not crazy. She's insane.
There we go.
Dangerous. She's smoked a man. She's done people in. Probably even pigs.
Stop talking to him. Kuno, I'm fucking warning you. You're gonna get us into shit.
No, I won't. No, he won't.
she understands what you're trying to do.
Of course.
Yo, see? Did Kuno not tell ya? Kuno told ya. Kuno talks to whoever he wants. Talk, pig. Kuno's got it under control.
Okay.
You did it. They're separated. He's even turned his back to her, so she can't read his lips.
What do you mean she smoked someone?
Kuno means she killed someone. That's right. She's a killer. Like, actually a killer.
What? Isn't she too small to overpower
Are
someone?
you getting this? You think I'm fucking telling you a joke here? How hard do you think it is to kill a fat ass? Sweet talk him, then knife him. She's probably killed a pig too. I mean, I'm pretty sure she has.
Okay, how many cops has she killed then?
Forget Kuno said that. Kuno was just shitting. Kuno was just running his mouth. Kuno's stupid like that.
The creature peers at you both from over the fence. Fear.
Do you think she has anything to do with the dead man? You said she's insane?
Yeah, she's psycho. None of that kiddie psycho. Cat burning shit. She does the real deal.
Whoa.
Yeah.
What's the real deal?
Snuff radio shit. Believe me, pig, you don't want to know.
What's that language she uses?
Fuck knows. She says it. Crazy people.
Her people.
Some things are too awful to dwell on. The Nakis and Runkaris might be some.
Is she your sister?
Fuck no, she's not my sister. She's just a stray who got in. Yeah, she was just there.
Huh.
What was that, Kuno?
She was in the hallway, dripping wet, by the fucking shoe rack, in the dark.
Why was she dripping wet?
Kuno's got no fucking idea. Her hair was all wet. I think she pissed on the floor too. She was there for 3 days, in the corner, every time Kuno went out.
You said she got in? How?
I don't know. Someone left the door open. Kuno comes home and she's sleeping under the desk, under the pile of clothes, like a dog.
I mean, I'm not even... What's the point of me even asking about his parents? I know they're not in the
Dad
picture.
doesn't give a shit. Doesn't even see her there, or thinks it's fucking Kuno. Shit's all on Kuno.
Oh, man.
Kuno-S, two of a kind.
Why is she called Kuno S then?
Because she fucking looks like Kuno.
You don't know her
No
name?
one knows her name. Kuno told you, this shit was psycho killer.
Do you think she has something to do with the dead man?
Yeah, she would have liked to fuck him up, but she didn't. Kuno wasn't around, and C was with Kuno.
Where were you?
Look, Kuno's gonna put you at ease. We didn't do it.
How are you dealing with all
How's
this?
Kuno dealing? Kuno's dealing just fine. He doesn't need you fucking with any of it. C doesn't either.
Alright.
Kuno's got this shit under control.
You need backup, I'm here for you.
Listen. C is Kuno's go-to. Kuno's protecting her. You fuck with C. You fuck
Okay.
with Kuno. You
Alright,
threaten her.
Kuno.
You threaten to take it away.
Alright.
This is what it all comes down to. He needs you to take him seriously now.
Alright.
I'm going to kill you. I'll run when you put the cuffs on her, sneak up on you later, and fuck you up. You understand?
The boy looks you in the eye. Black pupils trying to focus.
He may not be able to do it, but he will try. Right now, he believes he will.
I respect that.
Alright, now we can do business.
Business?
Yeah? What do you want? Kuno can hook you up with...
Oh.
Hook him up with shit, Kuno.
See, relax. He respects the Kuno. Kuno made him respect the Kuno. You respect the Kuno, you get all kinds of shit.
You just had to slap him first.
Kuno's gonna get you hooked on illegal narcotics if you run a little errand for the Kuno. Get you hooked, pig. Get his hook in you. Then Kuno gonna get you hooking for more. Can't see, it's tension and release with Kuno. Now we releasing. The pant buying shit, that's on now too. 90% discount for Kuno flexes for hobos. Kuno sees you're in need.
I can buy the pants. Oh, I can. Let's buy it.
Pig, we're fun now. Performance buddies.
Kuno zips unzips his jacket and pulls the pants out of the plastic
Kuno can
wrapping.
already see you soaring through the air like a fucking eagle. Pig's in Kuno's debt now. Money debt.
What's that about running an illegal narcotics?
Kuno gets it from his
Kuno.
dad. Kuno and his dad are major suppliers.
Oh,
That's
I
why
see.
Kuno
His
gets
dad is
business.
government drugs.
Problem is, Kuno and his dad had a little falling out. Now junkies clawing at Kuno's door. Streets going mad. Kuno's got to throw his dirty popo man at it.
Okay, okay.
Dirty popo man is you.
Uh-huh.
In there is Kuno's violent dad on
Right.
steroids. Kuno's dad does steroids and speed. If you can take him, you can have half of the speed.
Who is your dad, Kuno?
Kuno's dad is a fucking monster. He's the most violent man in Revachol. He doesn't give a shit about a single thing.
Is it ever hurt? No.
Are you sure you can take on the most violent man in Revachol? In your condition?
How much material I made up my mind, Kuno.
Okay. Kuno's listening.
What? Who is Kuno's dad? Who is this man? I see. I'm not going in there.
Kuno sees you're too pussy to face Kuno.
Another sane decision, detective.
So you respect me now?
Dreaming, pig.
A little, but don't expect anything to change.
Alright.
Don't let him dominate you, Kuno. Fuck his fat ass.
Alright.
Kuno doesn't fuck.
Okay, bye, Kuno. Well, this was actually surprisingly helpful. Although I think there's something wrong with this girl. We can try talking.
Kuno, the pig's getting pretty close. Looks like it's time for me to go.
She means it. The fear is real.
Let's try to intimidate her.
I'm going away for a long, long time, Kuno. Going away for life.
What's going on there? Fuck are you trying to pull, pig?
You there, behind the fence.
You don't want to fuck with me. I got my hands bloody. I'm not here, pig. You're not seeing this.
You can still see the top of her hat from...
I see. What a weird language. Okay, so we can't get back there just yet. What do we still have left to do? Kuno was a character, but I'm glad he can kind of see our side in this, I suppose. These pants are better. And then get them off of his feet. Okay. End of day debrief with Kim at some point. I had $20, now I have none. Ah, quick save. Alright. Should we open the door? I don't feel like we should. Because, I mean, it's shady, right? This is day 2. We need to get the gun back. But I don't feel comfortable just going into someone's home. We need to get the body done. Oh, right. We need to go talk to Machine Head. Can't believe I forgot to do that. I wish there was more of a fast travel, but... I guess this is the fastest travel we can get at the moment. Run up here. Run up to this man who we said that would have to help us.
The unpromising race pupil returns.
I've already told you to help us get the body down from the tree.
So it was. My unpromising race pupil entered the harbor
Of course.
and used my superior to
Oh, wow.
others. I salute your cunning and will remove the body from the tree with my bare hands.
That's impressive.
You're so noble, Measurehead.
I mean, that's one way to describe it.
But while I am gone, someone must stand guard on the bridge. That someone needs to be you.
Okay.
That would mean you're openly showing the people that you're taking the Union's side.
Lieutenant, what if we don't do that?
This is the uncomfortable result of not taking it on ourselves. I can live with a compromise.
Listen to your little friend. He is wise in his childlike way. His mysterious race may yet prove fierce competition to my heroic haplogroup.
Wait, that means showing everyone we're taking orders from the Union, which we are.
That is precisely what it means, homunculus. This is not going to happen any other way.
Fine.
Babe, see that they stay here the whole time.
This might come to bite us in the ass. Okay. Oh, I can't really do anything. Did the game just crash? I think I might have frozen the game. Nothing is happening. Like, I can't even click on the main menu. Or any of that effect. And I don't even know if this is a passing time thing or if the game just glitched. Okay, let's try that again. I don't know what that was about. That was odd. I think I did do a quick save. I believe I did. Okay. Alright, let's try this one again.
The unpromising, so it.
You're so.
But that would mean, babe, see that they stay here the whole time.
Okay, so he leaves.
The woman's gaze follows me.
Yes, it did glitch.
As he leaves.
So, you guys are like cops or something?
Apparently so.
Cool. I like men with guns and power. I'm Katya, by the way.
Hey, Katya.
You hear that? That sound. He's breaking something.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, Jean-Luc must be really tearing it up over there. I wish I could see it.
I also wish I could see it.
Look at you! RCM rent-a-cops! Guarding that bridge like Everott's lapdogs! Is this where it's at now? The RCM is for sale!
Of course, the scab people will try and yell at us.
And who are you? What is your business here? Why are your clothes 4 sizes too small for you?
That's none of your business.
A shrill laughter interrupts you, echoing across Martinez. It's Kuno.
Kuno?
Then the man turns to look behind him at the behemoth appearing around the corner, approaching him, walking past him.
Oh, he's back.
The corpse has been removed from the tree. Stand down and congratulate yourself. You have
This has nothing to do with race.
today.
There's been no side choosing. We did what we had to keep order.
And what you had to do was to become a Union man for all to see.
Alright, let's get out of here. At least we got the body down. We can examine the body finally. Let's see what damage he did. For all of our gloves and our smelling salts, we could not get this body down. And now we're here. Yes, Kuno?
You missed a good show before. A kid came by and completely
Oh,
fucked
he
the tree to pieces.
did.
He fucked the tree up! Fucked it good! It was porno!
Wish I could have been here to see it. Now I have some questions.
Shoot that shit at Kuno, Pigonaught.
Let's discuss those illegal
Be
narcotics
waiting for you
again.
to fucking man up. In there is Kuno's violent dad.
How much
Like
material?
half.
Half of
Baggy,
what?
But like in this vial.
That's not very much material at all.
What are you talking about? Half a...
You can barely see it because there's barely any.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Kuno's listening.
Not
Kuno
going
sees you're too pussy to...
Another sane decision, did
Kuno doesn't...
Alright, let's go. Now we can examine the body.
The corpse lies on the ground among the remains of an absolutely demolished pinewood branch. It's gently laid on one side.
Well, it's down.
Mr. Measurehead has done a good job. Nothing is too broken or compromised. The victim is ready for a field autopsy.
A field autopsy?
Yes. 1. Investigation of the scene.
Mm-hmm.
2. Initial examination of the victim. 3. Field autopsy. 4. Transportation of
Thank
the
you,
body to
Kim.
the morgue. We are on number 3.
The fuck are they on about?
Cop's gonna cut his shit up!
Don't we have someone else to cut his shit open?
It's not about cutting. And no, you and I are detectives. The honorary rank of detective signifies our ability to handle the entire incident chain, from autopsy to cleanup to social work.
Wait, honorary rank of detective? Oh, hold on. Ah, yes, we have the field autopsy. Right, let's forget the race theory part. Wait, honorary rank of
An
detective?
honor and a burden attached to your rank once you've proven yourself able.
I see.
Usually after 5 to 8 years of field work. Mine is lieutenant detective.
Yes, I feel like a detective.
You are. Your station would not have assigned you on this case if you weren't. Now, the way I see it,
Yes.
it's either this, or we complete the initial interviews. We already met Evrard, that only leaves the Wild Pines representative. There's one in town, negotiating the strike. She could have information.
Of course.
Or we could call it a day. It's incredibly late.
Let's do it.
The lieutenant adjusts his glasses and takes a deep breath.
First, what exactly is a field autopsy?
Come on, officer. You know what a field autopsy is. You've done 100 of them.
Let's get in there.
There truly is a time for everything, even for yellow gardening gloves. However, they are lacking hygienically. I suggest you get in there in limited capacity.
What do you mean?
I mean when I need you to. Until
I see.
I should handle physical contact, and you should take notes.
We just fill this in, right?
That's right.
Alright, let's go.
You knew it because you inspected your ledger. The lieutenant is relieved you know the protocol.
Alright. Tell me something, dead man.
Shoot, Looney Rooney.
Ah.
Come back later, Corporal. Amuse yourself with my frank manners and
Well,
my
I can't.
memento mori features.
The dead man stares in silence as you crack open the ledger. The bright red paper is covered.
Ah, this is like mortuary assistant.
Describing the condition of his skin and organs in 3 parts. Above those, an 11-field info form needs filling out first. It begins with
Assistant. Harry Dubois.
the corpse is indifferent to your scribblings, just lies there. The next box says
KK57. Next, NA. Next, NA. Roughly 50.
Ah,
the corpse looks ageless, like meat on a hook.
race.
Mondial.
The pudgy mess of curdled meat looks neither mondial nor anything other.
Sex.
Fucky, fucky!
Ah, Kunas, please.
Male.
Pigs can have sex.
Gonna write male.
Nor does he look male, with his pregnant belly and indistinguishable face.
Date of death?
We're still going with March 4th. 51.
Alright, let us go.
What else? 9. Body identified by is non-applicable. 10. Case number is the
KK 57 0503 0815 listens motionless, with the cargo belt still around his neck. Only one box remains.
Hmm.
None.
Evidence of treatment?
At least not after the initial examination.
A strange word. Treatment.
What is a treatment anyway?
Interfering with the body's position or wounds post-mortem.
Well, we
How
did.
did you not know that? Aren't you a cop? You're leaving a weak impression here. Say
Oh.
something sure-handed. Don't overdo it. It's okay to be unsure.
I see. Agreed, no treatment.
A silent nod. The lieutenant places his gloved hand
Oh
on
no.
the corpse's chest, as if in preparation. Your central nervous system recognizes this gesture. It's the stations of the breath. Ecclesiastic, religious in nature, a holdout from pre-DeLorean burial rites. It takes him 2 seconds to perform. Then Somewhere in Jamrock North, a small wood shed behind Rosencrantz Row, Lieutenant Nick Feuerbat puts his hand to the chest of a small corpse.
What is
no larger
this?
than a monkey. It's raining outside, light drizzle. There is darkness in the shed. Elsewhere yet, an obese female sits in a wicker chair, her silhouette bull-like against the window. Outside, Grand Coudon. The day is turning dim for Sergeant Mac Dawson. Hand extended, he approaches, to make sure she is dead more than anything else. The building is tall, 7 stories, wind-wrapped in solitude. Most of the apartments are unoccupied. This was a suicide. The other, an accident.
We are getting glimpses into other people performing autopsies.
And so, all across Jamrock, Coal City, GRIH, 42 deceased persons found today. 42
That's a lot of people.
Of
we should start the post-mortem.
The
Indeed.
corpse cannot feel Kim's hand on his chest. It no longer meaningfully interacts with its surroundings. A thicket of boxes and lists on red copier paper tries to answer why.
External examination?
Clothes. The deceased wears armored boots and white briefs. The make of the briefs is Babrodine, I think. Let's see.
He turns the body to the side to check the underwear label.
See, it's happening.
Babrodine, yes. Inexpensive. Size M. Color white.
The disappointment is palpable. The red-haired thing was expecting something more lurid.
Ah. Gotten more points. I feel like drama and rhetoric would be interesting. Would be good. Write it down.
The rest of the clothes have been removed post-mortem by scavengers
Mhm.
in order to get to the victim's ceramic armor. Officers are in search of the missing pieces. Removal of the boots is left for processing.
I will write it down.
Tattoos. The upper torso is covered in a single, continuous tattoo resembling a microelectronical circuit board. It reaches from the right shoulder to the heart. The ink is blue and white. The assistant has a color photograph of the markings to be added to the case files as document A1. The photo is taken on the scene using a Trigat Mini. The deceased has a cargo lashing belt around his neck, tied with a hangman's knot. Color yellow. Length 3 meters. There is a buckle on the other end. Well-nourished, athletically built, measuring 1.8 meters. Generally consistent with age, about 50. Preservation is good. Ambient temperature, below freezing. Body hair is light brown. Distribution is consistent with age. The deceased had male pattern baldness. Hair is combed back, short.
Touch the corpse's hair before moving on. Why not?
The hair under your latex fingers feels cold to touch, wet.
Pat him gently.
The stench is suffocating. Strands of dark brown hair start sticking to the latex of the glove, like thread off a ragdoll's head.
Let's write it down. It's gonna get weird.
Consistent with hanging. The head is congested. Contusions are present on the head, chest, and thighs. Consistent with stones thrown post-mortem. Low velocity.
From Kuno.
Fucking low velocity. You think Kuno doesn't know what you're talking about?
Velocity was fucking max.
Talking shit about Kuno's velocity.
I did pet a corpse. I think, there's a little bit of post-mortem petting. Although I didn't continue when it got weird. That's to say, it was never not weird.
In addition, there are bite marks on the face, scalp, and chest. Consistent with predation.
What?
Ligature mark.
The lieutenant produces a small folding knife. With the other hand holding the belt, he starts cutting to the polyester. The stench is horrid. After all, it's obvious the material cannot be cut.
Still wiring. There's too much of it. We need to remove the bell so we can get to the ligature mark.
You got just the right tool for that. The chain cutters.
Good thing we got these chain cutters.
Always good to think ahead. Now, we need to cut the bell to see the ligature mark below. Carefully.
Oh
With
no.
as much precision as you can.
See, my pig is gonna fuck his head off.
Oh no.
No, he ain't. Your pig's a boring fuck.
Oh, apparently quite well. Let's go.
After some deliberation,
Fascinating.
you sink the cutters into the knot tying the belt together. You squeeze the rubber handles together.
Excellent.
Sweat forming on your brow. Snap. The knot is slashed. Another cut and the belt falls apart like a flower bouquet, revealing the dead man's neck and the dark red ligature mark around it.
The rope rises to a point, leaving a gap in the ligature mark. The suspension point is in the back of the neck.
The lieutenant has kneeled over, running his finger along the dark red groove until there's a gap.
As it ought to. This is where its grip on the curdled meat is gentlest, pulling up.
Hemorrhaging is observed on the skin, above and below the ligature mark. The mark is well pronounced, consistent with a drop from 1 or 1.5 meters. Chest is intact, normal contour. Abdomen is protuberant, pelvis intact, genitalia...
Oh!
No! It's gonna happen, see!
I fucking knew it!
This is clearly what they've been waiting for, ever since the autopsy began.
Oh no, what are they going to do to him?
Genitalia is male and unremarkable. No evidence of injury.
Does it look like he was enjoying his moment of death?
Ah yes, your hunch before. We can have a semen analysis requested from processing, if that's what you meant.
Yes, processing science, that's what I meant.
Just write down that we request an analysis.
Alright.
The corpse with his pants down does not have an opinion on the subject. All he has is genitals and a deathly odor.
Should we... yes.
The dead man's penis is average sized, congested from the downward collection of blood. The testicles are uneven in length, hanging underneath. The
I've never
genitalia
heard.
is greenish. Marbling is present around the crotch.
I've never heard of someone's genitalia being described as a piece of meat. That's certainly something.
Back is symmetrical and intact. Upper and lower extremities are intact, but asymmetrical. There are combat injuries on the right hand, thigh, and hip.
Bullets have bitten little pieces out of him. It must have been excruciating, especially the hip. Before you is a temple of pain that knew little tenderness in life.
In addition, I see smaller, residual scars, too numerous to count, covering about 30% of his skin.
This is the body of a soldier, a mercenary.
We have a real museum here. Of battles, wars. Last item, hands.
Let's hold hands.
His flesh is cold, icy.
Pleased to meet you. Where are you from and what's your name?
Ah, I was wondering when this was going to happen. My name is...
I'm only fucking with you. I know where you're from. From Cappadocia. And your name is Il Corbo. What can I do you for?
Oh, I can be very
of
weird.
Cappadocia?
It's good to hold your hand. Did you like it when I stroked your hair?
I did, Kobo. I did. Reminded me of when I was just a small boy. Before this happened to my face and my body.
See, he liked it, Basil.
did
We
me a
should pet
kindness
more
there.
corpses.
We should do this more often. Be close like this, I mean.
Hands are clean. No sign of injury from struggling.
The dead man's fingers slipped from your hand, cold and sausage-like. Were we expecting any?
I was. Maybe I'm just not seeing them. Honestly, this stench is making it hard for me to think at the moment.
You might be an exception, not the rule. What, of corpse petting? Perhaps. I feel like I'm more inclined to do it in a video game than in real life.
Working so close to the fumes coming from the corpse must be hard. You realize suddenly that the
Oh,
lieutenant
meanwhile,
is
I'm petting his hair and having a handshake and a Friendly conversation.
Ooh. That's all for the external. Well done. What next?
He buries his face in the sleeve of his jacket. You hear a muffled voice. External examination summary.
Central nervous system. I have nothing. Do you have anything on this man's central nervous system?
You don't even have a joke.
Nope.
Musculoskeletal. Purge fluid is coming from the mouth. Not injury related. Eyes and tongue protuberant. Hyoid bone. Let's see.
With his eyes almost closed, the lieutenant puts his hand on the dead man's throat and begins to massage it, gently. A rotting smell erupts from the mouth. Purge fluid runs down his lips, black and
Why
viscous.
is he doing that?
Yeah, jack that fucker off!
The hyoid bone is fractured. The rest of the musculoskeletal system is intact. Unremarkable.
Don't we have a mortuary
Respiratory system.
autopsy person for this? You know, anyways, I'm just glad that Kim is doing it. Back hunched as if in prayer, he begins to pry open the dead man's jaws. He stops to exert more force. Both hands are used.
Oral cavity shows no lesions. The victim has received dental implants, possibly after a combat wound. Mouth swollen. Hemorrhaging present in mucosa of the lips and mouth.
From here, it looks as though the clown-faced man is screaming. The tendons of his jaw are torn apart. Hyoid ripped from the force of the lieutenant's hands.
Let's look inside his mouth, shall we?
No scream, no sigh of relief rises from the darkness inside. It's humid there. Sickly sweet air, unlike anything living. You feel like you're about to throw up again.
Let's avoid throwing up into his mouth, shall we?
No, you don't. You can keep it in. You can keep anything in.
Let's look deeper inside.
You manage to suppress the contractions trying to enter your stomach. All it takes is concentration. Through it, you see nothing but darkness. More meat and darkness.
There are ancient mysteries down there, Kobo. Ask me later.
All right, creepy voice inside my head, I shall.
Hemorrhaging present in mucus.
All right.
Hepatobiliary. NA.
Why, don't we have anything?
Are you a hepatobiliary expert?
He looks at the corpse's stomach with a mixture of tiredness and disgust. I don't think so.
Neither am I.
And that's it?
That's it.
All
Same
right.
for toxicology and serology. NA. Cardiovascular. The body exhibits lividity in the lower extremities, feet, hands, and neck. Visually consistent with the hanging. Gastrointestinal.
He breathes a sigh of approaching relief. This is the last field on the list. He looks around to the ground, the pool of feces there.
Digested semi-solid food in stomach. Voila.
Write it down and keep the voila.
What's next on the list?
Description of injury summary.
Let's see. We have bite marks, contusions on the head and chest, and a ligature mark encircling the neck. You'll need 3 fields. Leave a 4th one too.
What's the 4th injury field for?
Nothing. Just in case.
Alright.
Head, chest, and scalp bite mark injuries. Predation by birds has caused damage to the body. Odontologist does not need to be consulted.
Check.
And your opinion, officer?
Beneath the description, there are 2 boxes waiting to check. Opinion, fatal injury. Non-fatal post-mortem.
Agreed. Next injury?
Contusions.
So, the scalp bleeds from a post-mortem head injury. A stone. The injury does not have the rim of an early inflammatory response. The perpetrator on the scene has confessed to causing it post-mortem.
At maximum velocity, fucko!
At maximum velocity.
Has confessed to causing it at maximum velocity.
Alright, Kim playing
The
along.
lieutenant's admission has caused great gratitude in Kuna. He is silent with it. Coagulated blood sticks to his scalp and chest, where the countless stones have hit the dead man. Beneath, the description of injury. 2 boxes.
Non-fatal post-mortem.
Right. Next.
Ligature mark. On
The
the page
corpse
back.
lay slouched to the side, oblivious to its surroundings. The field autopsy form describes his state in 3 parts.
All right. Bite marks, contusions, a dark
Literature
red
mark.
abraded ligature mark encircling the neck, with a gap on the nape measuring, let's say, 7 centimeters. The hyoid bone is fractured, the cervical column intact.
Mm-hmm.
I see hemorrhaging on the skin, above and below the ligature mark. Depth of the mark, 1 centimeter. No signs of clawing on the neck.
All right.
Below the note, 2 customary boxes wait to be ticked. The man's head jerks to the side. The ring around his neck is visible.
Opinion, fatal injury.
That's it. We have established cause of death. It's not much, and it leaves much to be questioned. But it's a start. Let's wrap this up. I pronounce this field autopsy over.
He produces a small black plastic bag from his jacket, a body bag. First, how did it go?
Well, we established probable cause of death. Some would say that's the goal of an autopsy. We requested a test to be run on the genitals. That was the règle. The results should arrive in a couple of weeks if we are lucky. I will not hold my breath.
What else?
We were thorough with the list of injuries too. We described them all in detail. What is there to say? Given the circumstances, it was a professional.
Well done, Kim.
Oh yeah, well done, Master Detective. Maybe a drink is in order?
Perhaps not. Perhaps a drink is in order later, I mean.
Now, you see, that worries me. You will die if you drink. You know that, don't you? You are proving a useful detective. The organization...
Even though I don't remember a single thing.
Please get yourself together. The lieutenant from Precinct 57 thinks.
Oh, I have enough to level up, I believe. Ah, not enough on the rhetoric level. Oh. Are these different? So I have enough to level up certain ones, but not enough to level up other ones? Skill cap is reached. The art is absolutely wonderful. I don't know why some of these are darker than others. It really is something.
I need a copy of that autopsy form. Then I will drive him to Faubourg.
Here you are.
Processing.
He looks at the dead man one more time, then at the slip of red paper in his hand, then at the corpse again.
He's thinking, did I miss something?
What if... What if I try to take the boots right now?
Shoot, Looney Rooney.
At the autopsy, you said you have ancient mysteries.
Oh yes, Kobo mi Lobo. In the gift horse's mouth. Tracts and wakes and waterways. Ancient materials buried.
But to where, brother?
Just a small gulp away. My beloved Kobo. A small gulp away. Come back later, Kobo. Amuse yourself with my frank manners and my memento mori features. If possible, also, see me in your dreams.
What if we tried to remove the boots?
I thought we decided to leave it to processing. Let's not turn this into some kind of circus. We should think about calling it a day, maybe. The nights are still miserably cold this time of year.
I haven't paid the cafeteria manager for
We
damages
should
yet,
take care of that, then.
but I don't have the money.
Let's talk to him anyway. An officer of the RCM shouldn't be sleeping in the streets. We'll figure something out.
Though he finds this situation frustrating, he is doing his best to not make you feel any worse than you already do.
I want to try and steal the boots when Kid is not around. So I'm hoping he'll still be here later. Alright. Let's see if we can negotiate for the damages.
Can I help you?
So about that money I owe.
Yes. Have you got it?
I was wondering if we could come to some sort of arrangement for tonight.
Does that arrangement include you paying me what we already agreed you owe me?
Kim is about to say something, let him.
I understand your predicament as the manager. However,
He adjusts his glasses.
I feel I must remind you that we are here to conduct an important investigation that also affects your business.
That's right.
Forgive me for saying this, but your colleague seems more committed to drinking, and...
He stops mid-sentence.
He shrinks back a bit under the lieutenant's severe gaze.
I mean no offense. It's really nothing personal. I just have to protect the interests of this establishment.
Hold on, I still have my key, you know.
Good luck trying to use it.
Taps his foot against a metal box installed on the back of the counter.
All the locks have an electronic component. They have to be unlocked down here with a master key before your guest key will open the lock.
This conversation isn't going anywhere, is it?
Not until you bring me the money.
Okay. I might have something in my motor carriage we can use when you're done here.
I really didn't want to resort to this. The man is thinking.
Oh, Lieutenant, we're done here.
Can she give us money?
Hello again, sweetie.
Sweetie needs money. Do sweeties get money?
Oh, sweetie, I heard your conversation with the manager about your financial troubles. When do you get your next paycheck?
Excellent question, Kim.
If she could, this woman would feed and clothe you and every other sad, lost person on this earth. You've got guns of steel and a chiseled jaw somewhere under the bloated alcohol layer. Maybe she'd like to sponsor you.
Let's tug on her heartstrings.
Your deportment remains dignified as you shed a single manly tear.
It isn't easy of me to ask this of anyone, but at the very end of my rope, any money you have
Sweetie,
could help me.
I only have a few cents on me, but I could give you this to pawn. Just I tide you over.
She unfastened a gold commemorative pin from her left jacket and drops into your palm.
Wonderful. He has a pin.
The pin is round and slightly tarnished. 3 sailboats in bas-relief with the sun hovering over the water behind them. A chipped green banner at the bottom.
I feel awful taking from this woman.
Summer 31. Dinghy races. You could totally sell this pin for cash.
What is... I promise I'll buy it back for you once I have more money.
It's not an ancient family heirloom or anything, but I suppose it would be nice to get it back.
About your pin.
I hope you were able to pawn that old trinket.
I decided not to pawn it. You should have it back.
Oh, thank you, dear. I confess
Even the lieutenant seems happy with this turn of events.
Now, what else, sweetie?
How'd you like to roll with me?
Whatever do you mean?
I want you to be my wheelchair partner in fighting crime.
Sequence killers. Oh my. But I think you already have a partner, sweetie.
A partner who needs you to get back to helping the people of Martinez.
You're probably right,
Seems to
Kim.
me that
I wonder if this other informant could give us money. Don't want Kim to have to. Where is this person? Where is she? Surely she must be somewhere. Okay. I think there was a shop somewhere. Not what I meant to do, but that's okay. Where is she? Oh, there was something down here, I think.
This coin-operated viewer is facing southwest. Its coin slot is full of fossilized bubblegum. The metal feels cold and wet under your palm. It looks...
Well, we should just go around putting everything. Really. But I think there's someone... For full transparency, I did look up where she is. There we are.
A striking woman leans against the cabin top of her sailing boat, smiling as you approach. Her green raincoat glistens.
Ah, how fancy.
A silk scarf is tied around her throat.
Good evening, officers. I'm Joyce.
Hello, Joyce.
Messier. I represent the board of Wild Pines, the owners of the harbor. You gentlemen must be from the RCM.
She steps closer and holds her hand out over the railing. What gave us away? Oh, shake her hand.
I'm glad to see you here.
You are? That's the first I've heard.
I was dispatched to handle a strike, not a lynching. Anything I can do to assist the RCM in this matter, I will. Glad.
We would like some money.
My colleague will take the lead on this interview. I should let you know that he is recovering from an unusual medical episode. Very unusual. But I can assure you of his ultimate competency.
I cannot.
There's a trace of irony in his voice. Mischief, even.
Oh?
The lieutenant is hatching some scheme.
How interesting. I wish you a swift recovery. In the meanwhile, you have my full cooperation, and the full cooperation of the Wild Pines group.
It's hard to get a read on her precise disposition, but she appears helpful.
You seem rich. Can I have some money?
Is what you want to say, but it isn't that easy, is it?
What? Why not?
Look at that lady. Take a gander. Squint your eyes.
I've gotten hiccups now. One moment.
Why, yes. Tucked away under that sturdy green raincoat, almost rustic in its simplicity, a silk shirt and matching scarf around her gentle throat, while dull orange pearls hang from her earlobes, red from the cold. Her light green eyes scan you, full of knowledge and worry, wealth and all its possibilities.
Yes, and so?
Now look at you, you misery-clad simian, barely able to tie your own laces. Your armpits are lakes. A scythe of booze precedes you.
Thank you for describing that for me, Inland Empire.
You're poor. Poor as balls. You can't ask this person for money. You're too...
I'm not ashamed.
Oh, but you are. Too ashamed to ask this person for money.
No, I'm not.
Oh God, the lieutenant is here too. Do not...
As I was saying, if there's any way...
Let's ask. Let's just ask.
Please don't...
I am sorry.
Ah.
It just doesn't come out of your mouth. What does is...
money.
Excuse me? I didn't hear you. Did you say money?
No, I didn't. Let's hear her talk about something else. Alright. Where is this volition? Okay. Tell me about Wild Pines. What do you do?
What we do? I'm afraid I don't speak for Wild Pines as a whole. It's a giant undertaking.
So what do they do?
The Pines' core competency is logistics. Container shipping, freight, that sort of thing. See those airships there, blinking? Those are the shipping side of things, and that is the terminal. Another subdivision deals with energy, oil and gas exploration, offshore platforms.
How much money does Wild Pines have?
I'm not at liberty to discuss the company balance sheet, but I can tell you that last
year,
the
I see. They're
more than
stinking
20
rich.
billion real in revenue.
A billion?
The money I owe is much less than that.
Yes, past a certain point, numbers begin to seem imaginary, but they are quite real for the 72,000 employees who depend on Wild Pines for their paychecks. A conglomerate the size of Wild Pines is like a shark. If it stops moving and growing, it will die. Then what becomes of those 72,000 families? It is a tremendous responsibility.
And where does Wild Pines get all these billions?
They started as an exploration and cargo fleet conducting trade between the Samaran and Insulindian Isolas 250 years ago, when Pine ships explored the South Seminese and charted Lomantang on behalf of the suzerain. Centuries of care, deliberation, and madness have gone into this endeavor. Vessels pass through the great unrest to re-emerge with apricots in tow. The logic of the system is totalizing. It's taken everything from its employees to build it.
What does a huge system want with a place like this?
You mean aside from being the terminal's legal owners, who are responsible for moving 8% of the world's cargo?
8% of all cargo in the world, that's indeed quite the endeavor.
There are no minor cogs in the system. Each terminal must be accounted for, lest the entire system break. Every hiccup in such a system means thousands lose their jobs, the world over. I'm here to assure that doesn't happen.
With your help, hopefully, says her warm tone.
I heard billions. What can you tell me about this strike?
Everything. Right up to, but not including, trade secrets.
What is your role in this precisely?
I believe the official title is Senior Labor Negotiator. In practice, I'm a grocery clerk.
Clearly not
I relay
doing
the
too
union's
well.
demands to Wild Pines and return with Wild Pines' counteroffer.
And how are the talks going?
They're not. That's the problem. The union stopped all negotiations a week ago.
I see.
After that awful lynching took place. Now they won't even let me into the harbour. There's a 2-meter 20 racist behemoth blocking the gates.
Oh, you mean Measurehead?
Yes, Jean-Luc Measurehead.
How were the talks going before the lynching?
Let's say I was not making the kind of progress I'd hoped for when I first arrived.
And when did you first arrive?
I arrived 3 weeks ago. Yes, in the middle of February. The bay was still partially frozen then.
I see.
I prefer to do these things on site, like the RCM.
So we've spoken to the union. The head of the union seems rather corrupt. We're speaking with the company.
But the
She seems incompetent.
December.
I wasn't the original negotiator here. I took over after Mr. Gaumont hit a wall with Mr. Clare, the union boss. Mr. Clare refused to speak with Gaumont despite concessions he'd granted the union in prior negotiations.
I see. Something's happened.
This isn't the first time the union has gone on strike?
Heavens, no. There have been 2 prior strikes. Both times the union won significant concessions, including overtime pay and a medical plan. This time their demands are more, I guess you could say, aggressive.
What happened to this Gaumont?
Mr. Clare told him to... how did he put it?
She pauses to compose herself.
Fuck off, midget.
Oh.
Gaumont is short of stature, you see.
Not... okay then.
Yes. Keep in mind, this is a negotiator Mr. Clare has worked with before, and who was more than fair with him and the union.
I see.
Sounds like usual aggressive posturing.
What are their demands?
There are leaflets everywhere, and banners. What did they say again? Every worker, a member of the board.
I don't know what to think about that.
Fortunately, they explained it. Every time the Wild Pines group makes a decision about anything, it needs the signature of each of the 2,200
That's unrealistic.
in its Martinez terminal. Just so you understand, this is but one of 22 terminals owned by Wild Pines. Essentially, not only are they kings of the company, they are also kings of the 72,000 employees of Wild Pines Group.
What are you going to do?
I'm not sure. Naturally, I assume that was just their opening position, a hard-nosed tactic with a side of mockery. But there's been no follow-up, just the same nonsensical slogan repeated over and over again.
It's kind of interesting, right? Because this game is somewhat topical considering all the strikes that are happening around. The Writers Guild, the actors supporting them, and also in where I am currently, the local grocery.
And now, people are getting lynched, I hear. Behind the whirling in rags, a disastrous situation if there ever was one.
Indeed.
Excuse me, from whom did you hear about this lynching?
I first heard it from the boyar at the gates, the one whose very name advertises his aversion to work. I think he said it was...
Oh, yeah.
Manana?
I feel like Mignogna has a lot of influence and a lot of... I don't know. It feels like he has a lot of influence and he has some sort of agenda he's trying to push.
This checks out.
What do you think of Everett?
Everett Clare is a man of the utmost integrity.
The sarcasm.
If you can say one thing about him, it's that he always puts the interests of the workers first.
Really?
Of course not. Everett is fantastically corrupt. I imagine he has a thick, viscous goo where you and I have blood.
That's Everett, alright.
He's the most corrupt individual I have ever seen, and I deal with men like him for a living. If there is anyone more venal, more irredeemably nepotistic, then it's his twin brother, Edgar.
Wait, there are 2 of them?
Yes. Edgar looks exactly like his brother, except for that lazy eye. He also talks exactly like Everett does, and when one's term as foreman is up, the other takes over.
Awful.
It's how they circumvent the term limits, you see, with a funny little switcheroo. While in office, they've embezzled God knows how much of their workers' dues.
What about the union itself outside of the Brothers Clare?
The Union was once a perfectly normal institution. 20 years ago, anyway. It must not have been easy to establish under the Emergency Act, but they did it. I can respect that.
Yes, we do respect the union.
Organised labour at its best, as they say. Then something happened in the local chapter elections.
Something happened.
Clare came and transformed it into a... how do you say?
I feel like we need to free the union, somehow.
A mob. The Debardeurs are a crime syndicate. Sad as it may be, we are forced to cooperate with them.
Refreshingly honest, officer. The company has tried appeasing in the past, but I'm afraid
Welcome,
our
Enrico. Thank you for the
concessions have
hydrate.
only emboldened Everard and his brother.
We're learning a lot about the current state of the world. Oh, that's alright, Rico.
And your opinion, detective, if I may ask? I'm a curious and talkative person, you see. Would you say the Débardeurs Union is...
I'm just glad you came. An effective advocate for the rights of the working man, giant leech sucking life, basically a socialist mob. Basically a socialist mob. A giant leech sucking life out of a revicle, I do believe. I guess that, calling it a giant leech is a little bit less politically charged than calling it a socialist mob, I think.
Indeed. And a hungry one. Sadly, Wild Pines have cooperated with what amounts to a crime syndicate for 2 decades. However much you feed the leech always hungers.
One more thing, you said something happened at the elections?
I'm glad you asked. There was a woman, the previous forewoman of the union.
She disappeared.
She disappeared.
Disappeared?
Yes. On the last day of the local chapter elections, her daughter phoned in and said she wasn't running anymore, or coming to work. Ever. End of story.
Some kind of extortion, probably.
Indeed. The company suspects foul play, but there's nothing they could do. It was a union matter. The point of the presentation is, these kinds of things happen around the Clares. Watch out when you're dealing with him.
I shall.
Thank you for your concern, ma'am. We'll be just fine.
Let's change the topic.
Of course. How else can I help?
Can I have some money?
Voila, you're doing it.
We did it.
Really put your back into it. Yell it from the top of your lungs.
Money! What should I say? We still owe money and we can't end the day and sleep until we have money. You seem rich. Can I have some money?
Why, yes, I am rich. How much money do you need? Hopefully not too much. I couldn't bring...
Oh, she's just gonna give me money.
She's surprisingly nonchalant about this. If anything, your finally asking it has relieved some of the tension.
How much did I owe? Hold on. Oh, 130. That's not that much at all. 130 is fine.
That's a good sum. Not too small, not fantastically large.
Oh, she just is gonna give me money. She reaches into her raincoat, pulls out a zip bag in which you can see paper notes arranged like black gilts.
She removes a few notes and hands them to you. The paper is cold and oily to the touch.
Well, that works.
Good. We won't be needing to go to my kinema then.
Kim was offering to pawn some things, and also a nice lady was also offering to give us a treasured heirloom of hers to help. And I think that getting the money from this lady is probably better.
Whoa, whoa. Did you see how easy that was? Ask her for more. Toot toot, train to Moneytown.
No, that's
Can you
fine.
eat honor? Are you an honorvore?
An honorvore? Oh my god. The lines in this game are spectacular.
So, I hope I didn't just bribe you, officer. It may not be technically illegal under the Emergency Act, but still.
I'm still getting my head around the money concept. You were just helping me out.
You're right, ma'am, that donations are permitted under the Emergency Act, and seemly as it may be, as long as they are properly logged with the precinct.
Excellent.
Which he most certainly will do. Now, how else can I help the RCM today, besides supplementing its salaries?
By the way, I've talked to Everett, Claire.
You have? And
She
how
smells
would you like,
carefully.
Mr. Clare?
Rico, you don't need more. You'll just drink it away. Look, we are trying to make a new life out of this unfortunate situation. I've tried to be a little bit less, terrible. So.
Finally, time to choose sides.
He's a beautiful and beautiful just. He's the champion I've sworn fealty to. He's a rainbow bloated. I do business and prefer socialist. He's reasonable. I didn't.
Oh, come on now. He has his uses. How else would he have stayed in power all these years? Or wait, actually, corruption. That's how he's done it.
He is definitely corrupt. I don't trust her either.
Like corruption, reaching into the bowels of the earth.
Okay, so you weren't here, Rico, but we did find out that him and his twin brother have just been they've just been alternating in office, and they have some sort of weird, I don't know, manipulation going on with the union, and it's kind of spread to become this almost like a fascist sort of chokehold on the town. It's quite awful. Now, I don't trust this person either, but I do feel like the union, not that it needs to be dismantled, but that the leader of the union should be taken down. And we also found out that his opposition mysteriously vanished at the beginning. So there's quite a story here to unravel.
The position of my unusual colleague does not reflect official policy. I hope you understand. The RCM does not pick sides.
But I do.
Of course. And I don't expect you to share anything he told you with me. I'm not a corrupt verm myself. However, if you felt like discussing something, how could I stop you? Are we not human? Are we not curious to hear another person's take? It's only natural. We would only be gossiping.
And to that effect, it's not like I said anything particularly, awful. I just said that I didn't like him.
Tell her she'll like you for it.
Yes, your disgusting necktie agrees completely. Let's gossip.
Oh, the horrific necktie hasn't piped up in a while. That money you gave me, would that make things weird if I shared information, I mean?
Weird? Oh no. One of the positive things to come from the revolution is the unhindered exchange of information, you see, even when it comes to trade secrets. Which isn't to suggest our talks constitute corporate espionage. Even if they did, it would be fine. But they don't, since you logged the money as a donation, and this is clearly just gossip between friends.
Mr. Everett is helping me find my gun.
Oh. That's so helpful of him.
The lieutenant looks at you, and you
Oh
can
no.
His jaw muscle is trembling.
Kim is not having a good time.
Conventional police officers sometimes lose their guns. They then go around and tell people about this to gauge their reactions. It's a part of detecting.
Incredible. Simply incredible. And how is it going? Has this detecting produced a gun?
No.
Well, maybe he's not as helpful as you thought then. Is there anything else?
I'd rather talk about something else for now, if you don't mind.
Of course, Detective. Should something come up later down the road, don't be afraid to drop by for a chat. Until then, is there anything I can help you with?
What can you tell me about this lynching?
Quite a few things, I'm afraid. The information I'm to share with you includes sensitive trade secrets. For the sake of my employer, I have to ask for your names and badge numbers.
Oh, we don't have... What did I just finish? Did we just add something?
Of course, ma'am. We should have introduced ourselves. I am Lieutenant...
Oh, I do not have my badge.
Precinct 57. And this is my colleague from Precinct 41, Detective Dubois. I'm afraid Harry doesn't have his badge at the moment. I hope mine will suffice.
Oh, And what happened to yours, Detective?
Yikes.
Awkwardness washes over the conversation. The woman doesn't like this turn of events.
Remember when my partner told you I'd recently suffered from an unusual medical episode? My lost badge is related to it.
So, are you saying you lost your badge during the course of this episode?
Yes.
I can't hear you, darling. Speak up, please.
I could have eaten it for all I know. I don't remember anything. This world, the city, nothing.
Oh dear. Some kind of encephalopathic amnesia. I don't even know how to respond.
My badge, my gun, my money, my pants, my shoes,
I do believe
my
you,
horrible
naive as
necktie.
that may sound. I simply can't imagine what you gain by faking such a condition.
Indeed.
As I said, ma'am, his technique may be very unconventional, but he is an officer of the RCM.
I just come up and ask you for money and then tell you that I lost my gun, you know?
Of course, I sympathize, but I'm afraid I simply can't share anything more until I've seen that badge.
I see.
Hang on. She's a professional negotiator. She should be open to some sort of mutually beneficial arrangement.
How do I negotiate my way out of this?
She's a negotiator. Just float a favor at her. Insinuate.
Surely there's some other way to demonstrate our law enforcement credentials?
I will be frank with you. If I'm going to break protocol, I need to be able to justify it to my superiors. They're going to want to see something very tangible.
Mm-hmm.
You're in, but expect her to drive a hard bargain.
Like what?
Reports from inside Terminal B suggest it's a hub for the local drug trade. This is an open secret in Martinez. The Union controls the terminal, so it goes to reason.
They're profiting from this trade.
Of course.
The company has tried looking into this matter before, to no avail. Perhaps someone with your authority and resources might turn over the right stones.
We've been surprisingly good at gaining information despite not remembering anything.
Or you can recover your badge. Though if I may be blunt with you, it sounds like that may be a lost cause.
Detective, a word in private before we continue.
Of course. Excuse this minute, madam.
This is not going quite as I hoped it would, Detective.
How did you hope it would go?
Honestly, I was expecting you to use your unorthodox technique to keep her off balance, and not volunteer us to be her henchmen.
Oh, so we're her henchmen now?
This woman is running circles around us. She might have known about your misplaced badge all along, or she's simply an adept improviser. Either way, we've played straight into her hands.
He doesn't let it show, but there is a limit to how much the consequences of your unprofessional behavior can cost the investigation.
We could just, find my badge.
Oh, that would be fantastic, but do we have the time? The world is large and your badge is 8 by 6 centimeters.
Oh, well.
You could request a new one from your station, but that would literally take months.
Do you propose that we don't investigate the drug trafficking?
No. If there is reasonable suspicion, we must investigate. Otherwise, she could claim we are siding with the Union, or that we are on their take. We'd never hear the end of it.
I see.
What I propose is, we ask her, then we investigate, briefly. But do not share the outcome of this investigation with her. We tell her it's done and demand for her information on the lynching.
I'm sorry for putting us in this information. I'll handle it. I'll get back to it. I would like to
sure you will,
apologize.
Detective.
Alright. I have some sort of my own thoughts.
You're back. Good. What can I help you with at this late hour?
It's night. Don't you ever sleep?
Matter of fact, I don't.
Why is that?
I have a medical condition of my own. Nothing unusual, though. I'm old, you see.
No, you're not. You look young.
Thank you. I do what I can to remain presentable. Now, ask me some questions. It'll help us pass the night.
Do you know something about these tattoos?
That's the man who was killed. I'm afraid this is a discussion for once we've cleared the lynching question.
So you do know something about the tattoos?
Better not tie the fourth day to the backstay on this. I hope there is some...
She wants to answer the question. Protocol keeps her from it.
You're on a boat.
Why, yes, I am.
She looks at the deck beneath her feet. Green and white sails flutter overboard. Does she have a name?
The boat? No. It is called Cordelati 19 because that's the type of sloop it is.
I see.
The word "it" feels strange. Such a beautiful boat.
It does indeed deserve a name.
A breeze ripples through the sails and tugs at your hair. Below, the sleek, fish-like shape of the hull parts the water. Beneath that, a resounding darkness. You're reminded of something. Or someone.
Cool, but your boat really needs a name.
Okay. How about Cordelati 19? Why?
She taps on the side of the boat and makes a hollow
Because it was
sound.
manufactured in Revachol East by a company called Cordelati, and its hull is 19 paces long.
How about Dolores?
Why Dolores?
I don't know. I just like the name for some reason.
Well, it means nothing to me. I think I'll stick with the factory name. But thank you for the suggestion.
What kind of boat is
It's
it?
a pleasure craft. A 19-pacer. It also happens to be rated for Category 1 racing.
Oh, it's
So
yours.
these days, I mainly use it for business.
How do you like it?
My sloop? I like it a lot. It's the eel's hips, baby.
I'm enjoying this part of the interview. It has so little to do with the murder we investigated.
All right, Kim.
I really do, the lieutenant thinks. Is she thrown off yet? He's looking at the woman, assessing her.
Not a lot of people on boats, are there?
Of course there are.
There is a pinch of defensiveness in her voice, but it is playful.
Wait, what do you mean arpegello?
I mean, we are on Le Caillou, are we not?
Still haven't seen anyone sail a boat around here.
I haven't seen anyone else drive a souped-up Capri Kenema motor carriage either.
I see.
Actually, that motor carriage has been specially issued to serve as a patrol and pursuit vehicle.
Shadows on the water, green plants under the calm surface.
It's for crossing long distances in the greater Revachol industrial harbor. It's not a toy.
Neither is this. A toy, I mean. It's a machine for crossing long distances in the Bay of Revachol, between the city and the islands.
She's having a good time arguing against the law. Too good, perhaps.
Do you have a license for this boat?
Officer, I assure you I'm a highly qualified pleasure craft operator.
The crowns of her teeth are porcelain, white as the boat's hull as she smiles. Qualified pleasure craft operator. So charming. Where's the damn license?
Can I see your license?
I just renewed its safety inspection last month, officers. It is completely seaworthy. In fact, it's taken part in not one, but two Insulindic regattas. Even finished once.
What happened to the other time?
The other time, I would have finished the race were it not for an urgent work matter, much like the one I'm on now.
Still need to see a license, ma'am.
Actually, you don't.
What do you mean?
The Wayfarer Act specifically denies the RCM the authority to demand anyone's operator license. It's a little-known fact among us law officials.
Wait, exactly how little known is this
I was
fact?
just being polite. Even school children know the Wayfarer Act.
Makes sense. I mean, look at me.
To self-pity, detective.
You need to save face if you want her respect. Demand that.
Alright, I'm gonna need to see your passport then.
Of course.
She searches the pockets of her raincoat, producing a bundle of documents in a steel plastic
The
bag.
woman is silent, smiling while the waves lap against the hull. In your hand, under the plastic, a light blue passport saying, Republic of Vespa. The coat of arms has a lion and an ostrich. Seagent.
Look at the photo page.
Born in the year 3 in the commune of Revachol, smiles at you. Face adorned with frown lines and crow's feet. The photo is recent. The name reads, Rejoice Leighton Messier.
Your name is Rejoice.
Yes, but please don't call me that.
How come?
Joyce is much more efficient.
She doesn't like it. Probably a bad memory. Mean girls at school or some ancient lover.
You're from Vesper?
My husband is. I have dual citizenship. A Vespertine is handier when traveling.
She nods and returns the plastic bag to her coat.
I think I have a handle on the... It's adorable.
Good.
You seem smart. I need someone to give me a lowdown on this reality we're in.
This reality?
It's related to that medical episode. I have trouble remembering even the most basic terms of reality.
Ah, yes. The episode. Sounds like an acute case of encephalopathy, now that I think of it.
Oh, yes?
Don't be phased, madame. He functions perfectly well.
We may be here a while then. Ask away, officer. I'll help however I can.
Joyce is rich and willing to answer your questions. Ask one.
All right, you're in. Begin with the first one. You'll appear worldly.
Where are we?
We're in Martinez, baby.
Baby?
A casual term of endearment popular among the 50-plus crowd. It's a disco holdover, pay it no heed.
I'm a disco holdover myself.
Aren't we all?
And what is Martinez?
Martinez is a district of Revachol. A very small district tucked away near the industrial harbour. North of the 881 and Jamrock. You would be excused for not knowing about it. Unimportant, they say. Forgotten, even. Shelled to smithereens during the Revolution. It has its charms, just not this time of year.
Tell me more about Martinez.
I'm not a good ambassador. I've only been here once before, as a teenager. Not a lot has changed.
Mm-hmm.
There are ruins, a terminal, fishing boats, reeds.
Oh!
Boys with boxy shoulders.
Thank you for the raid, Medicus. What a pleasant surprise. And for those of you here, I think there's one. Medicus is a good mutual of mine. Now, I believe we've played Pico Park together once upon a time, and he started reciting a bunch of lines from a Shakespearean play. Welcome in, Raiders, and welcome to this session of... Oh, I almost said Detroit Become Human, Disco Elysium. I am Jiro. I play a lot of narrative games, and we explore stories together. And I've been told I have a very calming voice, and I'll be pleased to read you to sleep. Welcome in. And feel free to drop me a follow if you're so inclined. I stream every Thursday from 10 o'clock EST until midnight, sometimes a bit afterwards. And thank you so much, Medicus, for joining tonight. Currently, we are trying to figure out, get our bearings on this world, because we are a detective with some sort of alcoholic amnesia. We don't remember anything about ourselves. We're going around and talking to people and trying to figure out who we are and things about the world. It's a very bleak place.
A brief spike of longing in her upright body. The dots under her eyelids shake.
We have very high empathy and we notice a lot of things.
This place used to be a province. A workers' resort before the city swallowed it and the artillery did its work. The reeds are the real star of the show here now. The further down the coast, the wilder it gets.
You were here as a teenager?
Yes, I was slumming it with some girlfriends of mine. We had boats and... Don't hold it against me.
Well
I
then.
certainly did not.
There's a spark in the air, a live wire hanging in the wind, in your hungover neocortex. Then the sea air cools it down.
You mentioned a sea. What sea is this?
It's not really a sea, it's the bay. Yes. We're on an island in an ocean.
Ah.
The world's largest body of water, the Insulindic.
Vast, lukewarm and unknowable, flowing in and out of sight.
And what is the name of this island?
Caillou, as you already know.
Caillou?
Imagine a pebble. A smoothed over pebble amidst a great blue sea, misshapen, cracked. The cracks are the river Esperance. We're in the delta of this river on the 6th branch, the Martinez Distributary.
I see.
It is clear this pebble is of enormous value to her.
Okay, that's Martinez. What's Revachol?
Revachol? Revachol is what you call a city.
And what kind of city is Revachol?
The great kind.
As if it's self-explanatory. Beyond patriotism. A fact.
And what makes Revachol great?
History, detective. They built this city to resolve history. Our part in it, at least. Our centuries.
And who built it?
The nations of the Occident, or migrant workers from Seminine and Ile Marat, depending on your creed.
And when was it built?
In the DeLorean century. 380 years ago. They say it's where the terrible questions of our time will be answered. The tensions are highest, the fault lines deepest.
So some sort of cursed land.
By that I mean conflicts. We are standing on a fertile, self-sufficient island able to sustain up to 200 million people in the middle of the Insulindic Ocean, the world's connective tissue. It's where the money is.
So we're an unimportant part of an important place.
I think it's fair to say so. Martinez is about...
She points across the water where the skyscrapers rise.
22 kilometers from the center of the world. That soldering iron is the bank of the world building. The bottom floors are Insiacom. Coalition government, Insulindian Mission Command.
I see.
Silence. She lowers her hand. The water, the light. It's as though you're seeing it for the first time.
So much history.
There is no recognition. Only the immensity of the sea and the cold radiating from it.
I say nothing. Observe the large body of water swelling cold.
She observes your eyes scanning the horizon, then breaks the silence, slowly.
Oh, I have to unlock a new slot. How does one unlock a slot? Let us see. Disco Elysium. How to unlock slots. Please bear with me. I am not the I do need to look up quite a few things. But oh, do I require more EXP? Skill point. Oh, I see. I need skill points.
This is one thought you need to complete. Where are you?
Was there something else you wanted to know? I remember something about a lowdown.
This has been informative. Thank you, man. I'm sure my memory-impaired partner has many more questions to ask, about even more fundamental aspects.
Of course I do.
Might I suggest not asking them all right now? Monsieur will be here later.
Absolutely. My commitment here is long-term.
You're right, Lieutenant. I'll continue
Better
later.
not to eat all your candy at once.
Indeed. I'm always at your service.
I can retry it.
6 kilometers southwest, in the Valley of Dogs, Junior Officer Chad Tilbrook takes aim at a rabid
Oh
black
no.
dog, licking its wounds in the grass. To his left, his partner, Emil Mullins, whispers, "You heard what happened to Tequila Sunset in Martinez?" "Yes, he lost his mind," Tilbrook answers, fingers on the trigger. "Don't worry, Emil." He pulls it out slowly. Slowly now. He'll find it again. We always do.
What am I?
You? You're an officer of the RCM.
This abbreviation, what does it stand for?
It stands for Revachol Citizens Militia.
Good. And what is the Revachol Citizens Militia?
Nothing more nor less than the de facto law enforcement body of post-revolutionary Revachol, Detective.
I see.
Yes, we are the Revachol Citizens Militia.
You said de facto.
Yes, that means not de jure. The RCM acts in what is poetically called the twilight of international law, both at the behest of the coalition government and to its chagrin.
What do you mean?
The RCM's responsibilities are defined by the Emergency, Wayfarer and Aliments Acts.
I
Three
see.
pieces of legislation keeping the city in a, let's be honest, laissez-faire stasis to the benefit of foreign capital.
All three are good to know when we are out policing.
So I'm basically a thrall to foreign
There's
interests.
nothing basic about your role, Detective. It's true that the RCM keeps everything the way our seemingly permanent provisional rulers like it.
I see.
Yet, on the other hand, I know these people. I deal with them daily.
Do you?
Let me tell you, dear, they are not fans of you.
I'm aware of that.
The
Why?
post-revolutionary decade was a disaster for the coalition government. Revachol in the 20s was hell, especially on the west side of the river. Gang warfare, a botched privatization scheme, a nuclear pile meltdown.
I see.
They called it the International Zone because no nation wanted to claim responsibility. The RCM restored peace where the coalition failed. A true blue citizens' initiative. They will never forgive you.
I see.
That's somewhat of an exaggeration. In reality, ours is a mutually beneficial arrangement.
Is it?
Revacholians get to keep the peace in Revachol, and the coalition doesn't have to worry about it. Anyway, sorry to intrude.
Of
Please
course,
continue.
Kim.
Yes, Lieutenant. Permit me to conclude with this. Who you are, to me, is the police. The only legitimate law enforcement authority in Revachol.
Say nothing.
And if those authorities drink so hard they need help recalling the basic terms of reality, well, I'm here to help.
That's all for now.
Glad to have been of assistance. The little that I know. Anything else?
Tell me about this drug trafficking.
It's quite straightforward. Someone is using Terminal B to smuggle raw ingredients from the Samaran Isola into Revachol with the Union's blessing. Wild Pines has suspected it for years.
Ingredients for what, ma'am?
Meth and dextroamphetamine, GBL and various synthetic psychedelics. Honestly, it might be quicker to say what you can't make from the stuff.
Let me get this straight. The material comes from Samara to Revachol through this terminal.
Yes. After they clear the terminal, we lose track. The actual production is taking place at various sites in and around Jamrock Quarter.
Wild Pine seems to be well apprised of the local drug trade, ma'am. Do you mean to say the Union also produces the product? Sells drugs, I mean?
Certainly feels so.
We're in logistics. It's our business to know. And no. As far as the company knows, the Union does not produce it. They transport the ingredients for a cut.
And you wish for us to investigate?
Yes, but you won't get anything out of Evrat and the Dock Workers Union. Still, every chain has its weak link.
What do you mean?
The lorries. Someone needs to move the ingredients from the harbour into the city.
Right.
Once they reach Jamrock, they're distributed to a network of local manufacturers well beyond our grasp. But in transit, they are vulnerable. Perhaps you've noticed that a number of lorries are tangled in a traffic jam at the roundabout just now. Interview the drivers who are still hanging about. One of them might be waiting for a crucial shipment.
I see.
I'll be explicit. If you find this driver, I will share company secrets with you.
You'll be indebted to her, in a way, but one step ahead of the Union in another.
Why didn't you come to the RCM earlier? There's no coincidence that the lorries are stranded here, is it?
No. We asked East Motor Track to raise the drawbridge. The
I
road
see.
company is a partner of one of our subsidiaries. However, this is a limited time opportunity. Once the complaint has been processed by the Trade Committee, they'll have no choice but to lower the drawbridge, and the operation will continue.
I see.
Thousands of litres of raw ingredients will pour onto the streets of Revachol. Not the east across the river, but
That's
the
why
west,
everyone's been so
the
antsy,
vulnerable,
because there are no
the
drugs.
weary.
A cold breath rushes in from the bay, making its way down the alleyways and potholed streets. From Martinez to Jamrock, in the traffic you hear the clinking of glass vials, concealed beneath tarpaulin. Or is it just your teeth chattering in the cold?
Misery.
A lot of it. It comes in from large Samaran factories in South Safre, Sigai, and Sinyao. The literage they must get from this terminal alone must be oceanic.
I see.
Well, at least this solves one mystery.
Does it?
What is that, Lieutenant?
Why I had to call East Motor Tract and beg them to open a drawbridge for me. I'd wandered since I first drove in, on my motor carriage.
I see.
I am sorry for the inconvenience, Lieutenant Kisaragi, but we need them trapped here. This is a unique opportunity. I'm sure you understand.
What proof do you have that the Union is involved?
How do you think they're financing this strike? There are thousands of unpaid dock workers going strong for the 4th month straight.
Yes.
There was a shakedown of local businesses preceding the strike. Many were squeezed to bankruptcy to fund it.
With all due respect to these desert cacti, the contents of a few cash registers cannot provide for 2,000 men. The local businesses can scarcely provide for themselves.
That is true. Do you think the strike was funded with the source ingredients for drugs?
Precisely. Smuggled out of that very gate at night, most likely, then loaded onto lorries and driven to Jamrock. You simply need to find one driver who will open up to you.
It sounds like she tried looking into it herself, but she's clearly not the type your typical lorryman would confide in.
Why didn't you come to the RCM then?
We did. On more than one occasion. Apparently, there's some sort of inter-precinct disagreement about whose jurisdiction this area falls under.
We know the company has launched its own probe into the Union's alleged involvement. We also know it's come up empty. It's not just the RCM. No one's been able to find any hard evidence.
Well, here's your chance, officers.
Let's discuss something else.
Nods.
Thank you.
Of course, Detective.
Done quite a bit. I have something around my head, but I think it's time for us to turn in. At least for now. And turn in real life as well. -1. There's all sorts of skills you can get. But this is quite a bit of exploring for today, and we've done quite a few things. We've gotten the body down. We've gotten the child to open up to us. We were able to get money to pay back the hotel.
Can I help you? Yes. Have you got it?
Yes, I do.
Well?
Here it is.
Great. Thank you, officer. That's all I wanted. Payment for services rendered. If you continue to stay here, I just ask that you please pay your nightly bill in advance starting tomorrow.
Alright.
He's not sorry about his behavior for your sake. Now that you have money, He really wants to make sure you're not angry with him.
Of course.
The electronic lock to your room has been disabled till 9 p.m. tomorrow.
Thank you.
Please pay for each night in advance starting tomorrow.
I'll take a room here too.
Ah. Find money for rent.
Of course. Always happy to have officers from the RCM as guests. Anything else I can do for you? Another thing. Great. Yes?
That's it for now.
Yes?
Do this mind palace thing. Unlock. This. Internalize that. I think what we can do
Yes?
This is the door to the room you redecorated.
Good night, Lieutenant.
Just a moment. You had some questions earlier, I believe. And besides, we should discuss our progress on the investigation. Let's go out to the balcony.
Alright, let's go.
The air outside is brisk. The lieutenant is silent for a moment. He listens to the traffic hum. Then...
Where shall we begin? We should talk about the investigation, first and foremost. But I also remember you wanting to discuss the RCM?
He lights a cigarette. I didn't know you smoked, Kim.
I have a cigarette every night when I go over my notes. It's something of a ritual.
I see.
Oh man, he looks so devastatingly cool with that cigarette.
How did you get so cool, Kim?
You mean this? This isn't cool. It's an unnecessary trial of will, and unhealthy.
Keeping the habit within the parameters he's given himself takes a lot of focus. It would be easier to simply quit.
That's correct. Alright then, debrief.
Yes. It's been a long and eventful day.
How do you think today went?
Well, we inspected the victim's body, so that's good. It was not easily approachable in that state, but we did it.
Smoking is not cool, and that is a fact.
Our inspection could have been more thorough, as it always can, but we have some leads we can follow up on.
We have quite a few leads. We did so much. We were able to pay back our hotel. We were able to cut down the corpse. We've interrogated so many people.
In addition, we got that body down from the tree, and we performed a field autopsy.
And that.
We found some things we can really work with. I still feel like we are missing something, and there's still work to do at the crime scene too.
That's right.
He's right. You could smell it. That something is missing, even under the overpowering odor of the corpse.
Now, as for interviews, my list of people to talk to here in Martinez, I mean.
The initial interviews? Yes, well, we talked to some people.
Including Evrard Claire, a daunting adversary, if there ever was one. He wasn't
Indeed.
particularly forthcoming with useful information, however.
He's a tough cookie, that one.
Claire also helped you, how should I say, remember your name? That's a relief.
Big relief. I don't know how I feel about my name,
That's
actually.
normal. It's best not to give it too much thought.
Kim must have had doubts about his name at some point too, but deliberately discarded them.
Have you ever wanted to change your name, Kim?
Change? No, not exactly. But I think all of us at some point imagine what our lives might have been had we been something else. And then we feel trapped by the names we've been given as symbols of the intentions and expectations of others.
He pulls a long, pensive drag.
Even if I were to change my name now, upon hearing any syllable that sounds like Kim in the street, I turn to see who was calling me. But let's talk about Joyce Messier for a moment.
Yeah, that's a cool lady with a cool name.
I have a feeling that she knows how dangerous the situation really is. We have to get her to talk to us. Above all, though, today was exhausting. What's with all the running? You run a lot. Is that a standard Precinct 41 practice?
Yes. I enjoy that he called out my habit of speed clicking.
I have a really good theory about why you're running so fast, son. Just you wait until we get up tomorrow.
I don't like to waste time, you know. My mind moves fast. The rest has to
It's
try and keep
impressive,
up.
especially for a man your age. And in those hills.
He nods thoughtfully, tapping a finger on his cigarette.
Nice shoes, by the way. I like the green. Goes with the orange.
He looks at your snakeskin shoes and smiles suddenly. What are your powers exactly? The RCM.
They're quite limited, actually. The power officers of the Revachol Citizens Militia exercise most frequently is imposing fines of up to 1,000 real for offenses, in accordance with an interdepartmental schedule.
Wouldn't that be an easy power to abuse?
Yes, although indirectly, as citizens can always request records from their local station. Officers of the RCM have been known to take bribes of less than the prescribed fine amount. It undermines trust in the RCM.
1,000? Why not more?
The RCM's primary role is to ensure safety. We are not really supposed to play any part in the economic structure of Revachol.
And what else?
We can arrest people, of course, but rather than bringing someone in directly, it's preferable to serve a station cold sleep. It prevents confusion and overcrowding.
But how can you be sure they show up?
You can't. Those who don't show up become fugitives, though, and have fewer legal rights when they are eventually caught. It's about power projection. Thus far, they seem to mostly show up.
I see.
When power calls you, you come. But power itself is a fragile trick of perception.
I see. And if someone resists?
We are permitted to use whatever force we deem necessary, even lethal.
Have you ever killed someone, Kim?
Yes. The last time was 4 years ago.
Wow.
He says it matter-of-factly and moves on.
What happens to the people we convict?
We don't convict. We arrest and send them to coalition government courts in Couron and La Delta. The prosecution works off our testimonies and records, which is why it's paramount to keep them.
Have I killed anyone?
That's an improbability. Perhaps even impossibility.
Of course you've killed people. It's somewhere down there, melting in all the drink.
I don't think I have.
Perhaps. But Precinct 41 is known for a higher than
I see.
rate of kills.
He's not judging you. He's respectfully acknowledging the difficulty of working in your precinct.
Wait, so if I kill someone on
you
duty...
have to supply compelling evidence for why it was necessary to use lethal force. In these cases, your partner is usually your witness. Not a good position to be in, by the way. Internal Affairs handles these cases thoroughly, by cross-examining you for inconsistencies. It is hard to cover for anyone, which is for the best.
And it's the coalition government that makes all these rules?
And the moral intern, more broadly, but yes.
What is that?
The Moralists International are the world's largest political organization. You know who they are. They have been running this place after the revolution failed.
And how would you describe them?
They're a union of center-left and center-right parties across the Real Belt. Our coalition government is just one of its many projects. They also run the ICP, EPIS, most intergovernmental organizations in the world.
And what do they believe in?
What do they believe in? They are Dolorians. They believe they continue the humanist project set forth by Her Innocence Dolores Day 4 centuries ago. Others say they are just technocrats.
And who's Dolores Day?
A historic figure? The author of the modern age? You will have to look elsewhere for opinions. The subject of humanism is too abstract for me.
For you, she is something painful, though it's hard to say why.
What do you think?
The moral intern are a fact. I try not to have opinions on facts until they change. And it doesn't look like that's about to happen.
It is more than that. There's some kind of affection in him.
You like the moral intern?
Yes, I did, when I was younger. In my 20s, I considered myself a moralist. A blue forget-me-not, a piece of the sky. They're not all that bad.
I see.
But the years have changed that. I don't know what I believe in now. No, I believe in the RCM. That's enough for me.
And what is their symbol?
Interesting question. It's a blue forget-me-not. Their motto is love, compassion, self-discipline.
That's wonderful.
I think you can gauge what they want you to think of them from that.
Something ominous. Something even a little feminine, but in a strict manner.
I have an opinion on the moral intern.
Do you?
Things are bad out there. We need them in here giving us right. Did an awful job here. Have you seen the place? This isn't humanism.
We are in what is called the twilight of international law. The laws we claim to enforce come from the MI. Without them, we are simply vigilantes.
Maybe we should make our own law.
Spoken like a revolutionary, not a cop. But hypothetical aside, in Martinez we already are vigilantes. At least the Union thinks so. I expect our job here to prove quite challenging.
It already
The
is.
lights of the orphan district are reflected in his glasses. The red and golden orbs of the motorway sliding like pearls on a string from east to west as Revachol commutes back to the suburbs. Tomorrow is Tuesday. Monday is over.
Thank you, brother. Say nothing, look into the night.
The dying lights of the city shimmer below. Slowly, like luminous clouds, they pass on his lenses. The lieutenant looks at his slim cigarette, contemplating the next drag. This soldier is the highlight of the day for me, he thinks. This little stick right here.
They really don't like us here. And the mouth on that kid, Kuno. It's different in land, in Jamrock and the GRIH.
Why are they like this?
It's our fault for leaving this place to the dogs, to the Union, to the company, not daring to come here more often. It's like I told you, this place is an orphan, fallen between the cracks.
And in Jamrock and the GRIH?
We run this city. West of the river is RCM land.
I see. It looks like the dark silhouette of the equestrian monument cutting into the night sky.
It's incredibly hard. Human beings are...
He shakes his head.
We are in control, and it's worth it. The organization works. Our systems work. If they didn't, the city would disintegrate.
As it looks like it has here.
Night. Captain Ptolemy Price steps into the yard. A piebald horse waits by the motor carriage, chewing oats out of an oat bag. Seagulls fly overhead. The sky is black. Captain Price wears a black suit and a standard patrol coat. As he mounts the horse to head home, rows of houses on either side, hunching over the sidewalks, and Precinct 41 with its dome roof growing distant. Around him, the streets are silent. A kid on the corner waves at the captain as he takes the turn on Petition and Main. The horse neighs. The captain nods back. Thanks, kid, he thinks. He's grateful.
I hope our investigation will help improve the situation here.
Me too. But I wouldn't count on any drastic changes in our lifetimes.
Thank you for this.
Yeah, it's getting very cold now. Let's go.
All right. See you in the morning. But what if? What if we go downstairs? I want to see if I can get those boots.
All around you, rain falls on the great city of Revachol. Rain drips from the eaves and floods the gutters, washing the filth away. The spring thaw must be here. The snow is melting.
What am I doing?
Looking up at the sky, cold water dripping from your hair.
What do I see?
Grey sky like great battleships, clouds colliding with one another. Rain falls down on the world.
It's so poetic. How does it feel?
Humid. Your coat shields you from the rain while the city shivers around you.
What's in the west?
Sheets of rain over the water. A flight of stairs leading into the ocean. Wave after wave washing the coast of Martinez, with its motorboats and gently swaying reeds. The ruins of a half-sunken sea fort crumble on an inlet beyond the Bay of Revachol. Ghosts rise into the sky.
Who are you, ghosts?
The skyscrapers of La Delta, the financial district. Faint golden light seeps from the office windows. Will you ever go there?
Will I?
No, you are just one of the hundreds of thousands who watch them rise across the bay from Martinez
And what is
day.
down the shore?
Urban coastline, rain dripping off Eternite-covered roofs, cinder blocks left over from half-finished construction, a defunct research and development building once seized by revolutionaries. An old wooden church stands on stilts above the water.
And beyond that?
Coal City, end of all lines.
Run your fingers through your dampened
Your
hair.
hair is an oil. The great gates of the industrial harbor are locked. A chill runs down your back. You shudder like an animal trying to shake water from its hide.
Shake your shoulders again.
You shudder, looking down at your feet. Two green snakeskin shoes stand at attention.
What's in the
Capeside
north?
Apartments. Tower blocks crowd one another. Hallways collapse from the mortar hits of a war that was lost long ago.
It feels like current society has fallen into collapse.
Radios play. A yard. Rain falls onto the roof of a woodshed. Filthy water pools around a body.
Right.
Droplets of rain slip from the dead man's cold cheeks.
In the south?
Traffic jam. Rain thrumming on the roofs of motor vehicles. Inside, drivers watch water streaming down their windshields. The statue of a king shudders. He too is cold. The canal bridge has been raised.
Playing this game feels like being in the presence of something that is too large to comprehend.
The road ascends. A raised motorway loops above the ghetto. Beneath its concrete columns, a sea of rooftops, woodwork, and tar stretches northward. 4-story buildings as far as the rain can fall. The snows melt in Jamrock.
And why am I not there?
To be in Martinez, where no one goes, at the runoff point of a long-forgotten canal, in the whitest part of town. In the shadow of the day the revolution fell.
And what am I doing here?
Standing in the rain, looking north, where Jamrock Rock City stretches inland.
Where's the hood?
Have a brother in the cut. Where the wood at?
Ah.
In the rain-swept distance, above the rooftops of Jamrock, a repurposed silk mill stands perched above the motorway exit. Precinct 41 hunches in the rain. Your vision blurs. You wipe your face with your hand. The rain stings your eyes, making you look up and blink.
What's above?
Coalition aerostatics hang like apparitions under the cloud cover. Way up there, where rain forms, rotors flutter silently. Your sight clears.
And what's below?
Collapsed storm drains, old sewage systems flooded with rainwater. Hidden weapon caches from the revolution, doors leading down to Le Royaume. The catacombs to which, for 3 centuries, they delivered the blue-blooded dead. These spring thaw will not last. The winter will return to Revachol.
Of course. What a nice interlude. But until then, I have some boots I need. Why is Kuno out here not sleeping?
The man is decomposing visibly now. The body is reluctant to let go of the boots.
Let's try to take the boots.
You're going to need to summon all your strength.
Alright.
Kuno's little sneak pig's back for the booty.
Yes, I am.
Yeah, fuck it to pieces for us, liar cop.
Left boot?
It feels like the leg is going to come off along with the boot, but you're able to get the boot to move a centimeter or two.
And the right boot?
It's not completely useless. You're able to reveal a little more of the putrid polymer sock beneath the boot. See? The corpse doesn't care if you try to take his boots. He doesn't need them. He's probably glad to get rid of them.
Let's try to twist them slowly.
This is the right method. It takes some time, but eventually the boots come off, with nasty slices of polymer sock stuck to even bigger pieces of skin and rotting flesh.
We did it.
Look, he's skinning the fucker up good. Puka style.
Hell, keep at it, pig.
The legs look like they've been clawed at by wild animals. As for the boots, you can't possibly do anything with them until you've cleaned and disinfected them thoroughly. Yes, these absolutely need to be washed before.
Of course.
The stink is incredible. Didn't the Whirling have a kitchen?
Oh, there's rotting flesh.
These boots were probably left on the corpse because they were impossible to pull off while it was hanging. They're not exactly pleasant to look at right now, much less smell.
Let's look at it.
Graceful whirls cover the boot's glossy surface. These will be gorgeous once you get them clean. Fairweather T500 VE is imprinted under each heel.
And inside the boots.
Still, just pieces of sock and rotten cadaver.
We will smell like something horrid until we clean them.
The man is decomposed.
Shoot, Looney Rooney. Come back later.
Fuck does Kuno care? Kuno doesn't.
We did, but ew. We need the boots because they're actually very good armor.
You see a set of tire tracks in the brown slush that covers the plaza most.
Need more points into visual calculus. But that's enough for the night. That was also part of one of our quests. Yes. And since, I'm choosing not to drink or smoke, taking the boots is sort of my little way of being, Oh.
That sugary black rum stain on the counter makes you teary-eyed with joy. It's almost touching how syrupy and sticky it is. How long have you been up already?
2 hours.
An hour would have been bad. 2 hours is mystical. You have truly wiped out all trace of yourself if you haven't thought about rum and lemonade yet.
Actually, should I be thinking about this? It looks like drinking hasn't turned out too well for me.
Maybe you haven't turned out well for your drinking. Have you thought about that? Get a goddamn rum.
I will not lick the stain off the counter.
Or better yet, lick that stain off the counter.
No.
What happened, man? You used to be cool. Go get your boring. It would go well with those cigarettes.
I will have neither of those things. What can I say more to this man?
Can I help you?
I need the kitchen to be open and I need him not to be awake. So that I can clean the thing. Yeah, bar licking is way less cool than smoking. I will not find booze and drink it.
The door is closed. This door can only be opened. Still nothing. You should punch a fucking hole in it. The murmur in your ears.
Alright. Let us not do more damage, shall we? And then it would be
A
good.
mirror hangs on the bathroom wall. In it, your face, adorned with the expression.
Suppose it's time to sleep.
The bed is cold and not particularly inviting. but it's yours. The sheets look awful.
Oh no.
The option to go to sleep becomes available every night after 9 p.m.
Alright, let's go to bed for now. I feel like we've done a lot today.
The sheets feel at once coarse and clammy against your skin. The bed sags beneath your weight as you stretch out and finally close your eyes.
Will I have horrifying dreams?
And then sleep doesn't come.
But I want to sleep.
Obviously, you're in bed with your eyes closed, but it's not happening.
Why?
Maybe it's the bed's fault.
Check the pillow.
Its synthetic filling has separated into hard lumps. The pillowcase smells oddly.
Check the blanket.
It barely covers your toes, stretching over your soft belly. This is your body here, intimate and warm, breathing. Under your thrumming eyelids, you see a dizzying array of colors. You won't get off this carousel quite so easily.
Let's try rolling over.
It's a little better. Colors, scenes, and half-formed phrases still litter your mind. Part of you is still trying to solve the case, isn't it?
Who killed him and...
Something to do with... What was it that the lieutenant said? Union? And it's gone again.
Right.
Your thoughts lost between the slowing brain waves.
Well, I kind of was hoping that, having paid off the damages, maybe they would give me a better room. No more thoughts. Fall asleep.
Your breathing steadies. A great silence washes over you until your
Oh no, I'm going to start having hallucinations about dead bodies.
Images start forming.
How horrible. That's fair. Okay, let's see if we can... let's save the game. New save. Apparently we have nightly hallucinations. I am a menace. But, I am also... Me, the player, is also a menace that's about to sleep. So let's find someone streaming and raid into them. But thank you for joining me today, and we made quite a few strides and improvements. And I'm glad that you can join me. And if you're watching the video, thank you for sticking all the way to the end. Let's see, let's raid Shoko. And, as always, have sweet dreams for me. Good night.
Of the Yakuza, and right now we're just exploring Fontaine and Genshin. Yeah, welcome in, guys. Welcome in. Sit back and grab a shot. Welcome to the bar. Good evening. I regret that I must shuffle off to sleep, but have a wonderful time. Yeah, no problem. Thank you for the raid, Jiro.